Hello and welcome to the 111th episode of the Destiny Community Podcast. If you saw the go live notification, it said 110 because Tefty failed at his job. Everyone point and shame at him. Shame.
Shame it up.
Shame.
Come on.
I wish I had a bell.
Ring those
You're
bells.
not allowed to mess up. Only I am.
Shame.
Shame.
Do you still have the gong?
Shame.
Do you have the gong still?
Yeah.
It's kind of a bell, sort of.
Was that was because I was like touching my beard that stream, right?
It was for lots of things that we still don't fully understand.
Brian, I know.
You have a bell.
We will never tell you. We will never tell you what caused the bells.
I thought we had cleared that up.
Funny.
I thought it was because
There was a bunch of them.
There was a
There was
bunch. I
other
think they were then
things.
just making it up
Multifaceted.
as they went along.
Yeah,
I do like to drink, so
I feel like you guys are still making it up. You know? Be like, oh yeah, it was the it's the time.
I got to talk about the biggest news of the week. Destin, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming on again.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, thanks for having me.
The biggest news of the week, though, is that Tefty and Holtz have made a challenge toward each other.
What?
This is important.
This is the
epic.
biggest
very
news.
important. They now have a bet. I don't know what the bet is going to be with the
I thought it was just a challenge.
awards.
It's
Okay,
just
it's
a
challenge. A gentleman's
Head-to-head challenge.
challenge.
Who wins? Who's the better
Who
man?
makes a theme song for Tefty's got to make a theme song for the podcast, and Holtz has got to get a butt tattoo. And the challenge is who does that first, or who does something first.
Yeah.
So
And whoever
pride
does
is
it
on the
first
line.
Pride.
Yeah, exactly. Pride and manly stuff.
Pride and
all the
Who's
important
who's
things.
best
ass
boy? Who is
deformation.
the best boy?
Who's the
Yes.
best boy?
Hmm.
Who's a good boy? You're a good boy.
If you think I'm going to come out on top, you guys should vote Tefty. All right. And if you think Holtz
Yeah,
is going to make it happen,
vote Tefty.
hashtag Holtz. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
I do think that the butt tattoo thing is going to be something that we're going to be unveiling
Okay.
for the holiday show.
Oh, so the
We're doing
time
one of
limit
those?
is
A
on.
present for all of us, really.
We are giving out the gift that gives to everybody. Our gift to
Pope,
you will
Are
be.
you time gating your butt tattoo?
I am. It is a
Unbelievable.
time gated reward.
It's a
It
dawning
comes out-
butt tattoo.
Well, your
It's
ass is on the
funny.
line here, Pope. So you better
Yeah.
get it done.
Dawning on the
It's
ass.
it's definitely going to be part of our holiday special. We're going to unveil that surprise package.
Yeah. Surprise package.
Surprise package.
Surprise booty.
Yes. We've got a lot of stuff planned for that. I'm really excited. We're going to have Ash on for the first time. And so that's
Yeah,
gonna
that'll
a
be
good
fun.
show.
I'm excited about
And
that.
Watts is has a theme for our dress up. We're going to follow through with our commitment from the charity stream. Another commitment coming to life.
Cosplay?
We
Cosplay.
were required to
Dressing up?
cosplay or dress up for a show. So Watts is going to have a theme for us, and we're going to all dress up for the holiday show.
Guys, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, you did.
It's
You've already
running
got your
late.
costume and your emote, Tefty.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh
Tef
my
Doki?
God. That?
Tefty's gonna be Natsuki. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Dude,
my
I
God! Watts
didn't-
gonna sit aside who we are going to dress
This
up
is scary,
as.
guys. I need a lifeline. Can I phone a friend?
So,
I'm-
hey, Dustin. Dustin, how you doing?
Hi,
Hi,
Dustin.
so I do this thing during shows where I try not to crosstalk. So if
Sure.
I'm being quiet, I'm just
Oh.
trying to be respectful.
You should
to guys.
crosstalk all
Don't
you
you
want.
should do that.
Don't do that.
Some people
You'll never
appreciate
talk.
it. Some people are like, whatever.
Yeah.
Dustin,
I'll chat. I'm going to interrupt Pope as much as I possibly
Yes.
dude,
Okay,
dude,
that
yes.
works. That works.
That
Worthy.
is, you can take over that role from Briar. So
Just-
Perfect.
Just realize that if you're quiet, it comes back on us as being assholes because we're like, oh my
Yes.
God, you're not letting the guests talk at all. And it's like, we tell them they can talk. Just come on in whenever you want into a conversation, especially when Pope's talking. That would be great.
In
I'm sorry, can I talk
111
now? I
episodes,
didn't want to be disrespectful. I'm
In
going to make you guys look
111
so bad.
episodes.
I'm just
Hell
kidding.
yeah.
we've had like 108 guests, and 7 of them have talked.
Yeah. It's an amazing
Wait.
streak.
I think somebody said on the Twitter questions you guys were asking, is this your 200th episode?
If you
It's-
combine it with the old Planet
PD?
Destiny podcast,
Yeah. Congratulations. That's freaking awesome.
Right there.
That's really cool.
Thanks, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to early
Or-
celebrate that.
Or
Early
hey, is this your
celebrate-
111th episode?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yes,
111.
guys.
This is the
That's
crazy
a lot of
111.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
111.
We're really proud of where we are now, though. Thank you, Dustin. This has been like
We could have done better.
We could up
I
our
mean,
game. Let's be honest.
I think early
There could
on
have
we
been more
could have
butt
picked
tattoos
maybe-
by now.
we could have picked maybe better guests, or better hosts mainly. We could
At
have
least for this week, you could have.
There could have been a theme song by now for 111 episodes.
We could have made a music video
Yes.
as our intro.
Not it.
we could have done a lot of
Coolly
things.
Walking down the hall.
Not it.
We could have taken
Briar knows how to make pictures, so
There's a,
videos
there's
is
a
one
snap.
step above.
I gotta say,
I can draw.
I was commenting before the show though, like just talking about how I moved to my new apartment. I'm just sort of messing around with the new set, but then Pope has his, and Briar has an awesome one, and Miss 5000 Watts has a great set, and then there's the other guys.
If you look on stream, mine is very clean on stream. All right.
Stream is great.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But on the podcast, it looks like you're, streaming in from Kermit's garage.
but like being on the earlier shows and watching your earlier shows and seeing where you are today, it's really, really cool to watch you guys grow as creators, and it's awesome. Yeah,
It's been fun.
GG.
It's been a
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you. It's interesting because we were doing this as like as a side. We were kind of forced into it, right? At Planet Destiny, we were like, it was like
Gun.
we got to make a podcast.
So
At
actual-
No,
gunpoint.
it
Actual
wasn't. We
gunpoint.
have to like. It was Sir Wallen and I just messaged him one day. I was like, "Hey,
Wally and
you wanna
Holtz
talk?"
actually came to my house
Yeah.
with a gun, and I was like, "Guys, this
It's
is
true.
this is too much." And then here I am.
I remember I was doing the Dads of Destiny podcast, and Planet Destiny kept on DDoSing the podcast and said that if I didn't join Planet Destiny's podcast, that I would never I would be hit offline every night.
You have no.
That was me, actually. That was just Planet Destiny. I blamed it on Planet Destiny, but confessional, it was me.
It's the long con, right?
And to
Yeah.
think about it, I mean, we've had some amazing guests and like shows, and
We have.
it's been a crazy experience, man. And it only took us 90 episodes to monetize, to figure out how Google AdSense works.
Yeah, I think the last one I was on, I think you guys had launched your Patreon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
Wow.
think that was the last episode I was on. So like, congrats
That
on
re-
that success.
Thank you.
that really initiated I didn't know how strong our fan base, like how many, like the core group of people who watch the show and participate, that's that Patreon and Twitch group that is just, I don't know, we've been able to improve the quality and do so much more because of that, and it's been nuts. It's been really been nuts.
We have an editor.
We have an
Yep.
editor.
What?
It's pretty crazy. And an artist.
And
It's crazy.
Professional.
It used. Well, we've always had an editor. Hi, it was me. The first.
a
Now
real
we have
one
a
now.
good one.
Like a good
Now
one.
we have a professional editor.
One that knows what they're doing and knows how to sync the audio with video.
It doesn't get butthurt about when we start. 1, 2, 3.
All
clap.
those things.
That was the best part of the podcast. Was
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
I remember. And still there would be desync issues.
Still problems arose.
Regardless, you guys are great. I'm really stoked to be here. I love your community. I love being able to come on your show once in a while. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks,
Dustin.
Dustin.
Coming on.
Awesome.
We, I got to be honest with you. I tried to get Fran, but he said he was busy.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
go.
He had a hair emergency, so
He said he's had a
As
hair
long as you
appointment.
never have CJ, I'll be good.
Oh, he's coming on for sure. After you just said that, that's for
Oh,
sure.
wait. What if you have mom, but all his kids have to be there too? He has 3 kids, 3 boys.
We only have room for one guest.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's back and steal.
Well, we gotta. So, Destin, you got. I mean, I know a lot of people know where you started, but can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in content creation and where you're streaming now for yourself, your own channel,
Yeah,
but
this-
you didn't
this thing.
start out that way, right?
Oh man, like if you want to, I've been in the industry like 10 plus years. So if you really want to go all the way back, I started making news videos in my basement and entering user movie contests on gametrailers.com. So like that was when Monty had created the Haloid short where Master Chief and Samus fought.
Mhm.
And he was a big inspiration to create something unique. Like I couldn't do what he could do yet. Well, I still can't do that. And I started doing news and trying to be a little bit humorous. And then I got hired at this website, Screw Attack. Champ knows in chat. Sorry. Yeah, so some people might remember me from that. I did hard news where I would point at the camera. And then eventually I moved to San Francisco. I worked at a publisher for a very, very short while. And then I ended up at IGN. I've been at IGN for 7 years now.
Really?
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
And the streaming thing, I always would just kind of stream, but I didn't take it seriously. I tried to regularly commit to streams. This is sort of like it's a weird agreement with IGN. They're like, they recognize, Fran actually started the program, that people like me want to like still be creative outside of the IGN voice. So I get to stream on my own channel and kind of do my own thing over here. And yeah, it's cool.
No, that's cool that like the organization supports that too.
It is cool.
Yeah, it sucks when an organization, keeps you from doing the things you want to do and forces you to make content for them, and then doesn't pay you well enough to stay with them. Oh,
That
it
sounds
sucks when that happens.
Hmm.
So we
What possibly could you be referencing?
anyway, so moving forward.
Damn.
So you're now what are you gonna when people tune in, what are they gonna get a chance to watch? What do you play?
Play a lot of Destiny 2 Forsaken. Games I'm enjoying. I played Red Dead, but I didn't stream it. It's been difficult. I just moved from Walnut Creek to San Francisco, so that's a pretty big move in the Bay Area if you're familiar with the space. So I'm set up now. I just did this literally last night, like got this sort of little space. And
So
I'm
you
gonna be
tripled your
streaming
rent.
regularly.
Cool.
Yeah, basically. I went
I mean-
from, it's pricey. I actually moved in with my
Yes.
girlfriend. So
Oh,
we're
congratulations.
sharing
Nice.
space, kind of taking the relationship to the next level. So it's a good move,
There you
And,
go.
I'm really, really happy. I lucked out. She's kind of great.
She's into video games. Does she play?
Nope. She watches kids for a living, but she loves watching me play, and I love watching movies with her. She likes romantic comedies, and she cries every movie, and it's adorable. Every single
So
movie.
she looks after
Yeah.
kids. She probably
Like she's an
loves
au pair?
Fortnite.
Yeah, she probably loves Fortnite.
Little kids,
She prob-
like
Still
before they're
probably
into Fortnite.
Oh, so
Oh.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Or Roblox.
Okay, wait. There is 2 kids that she watches that are into Minecraft.
There you
Is
go.
Minecraft still a thing? I thought Fortnite
Yeah.
had
Yeah,
taken that
Minecraft
crowd.
kids love
Huge.
Minecraft.
Is it
Minecraft
still
is
huge?
It's still
My,
huge.
my
kid-
son doesn't
my
play, but
nephew loves
that's all he
Minecraft.
watches.
My
Really?
kids were huge into Minecraft, but kind of just like
Do they play
transitioned
Fortnite
off
now?
of it. No, I don't let them.
You forbid.
You forbid it.
I
There
forbid it.
shall
Put
be
my
no
foot down.
Fortnite in this house.
I would just encourage them to do it more. No, they just didn't get into it.
To actually answer your question, I stream a lot of Destiny usually. I'm really into games like I played PUBG a ton when it was out. Briar, I think I saw you playing it a few times.
Yeah, I love
around
that.
that period when there was sort of a Destiny low amount of content, so a lot of us were checking out that. I play Fortnite once in a while. I'm not that into it. That's my couch game. When I just fire up the Xbox, I'll just play a few rounds of Fortnite, turn it off. Yeah, man, it's mostly
Have you
Destiny.
checked out Blackout in Call of Duty?
I did a little bit. I really want to get into it, but I don't know what weapon meta is. So I pick something up and then I die because I'm like, oh, well, that guy clearly had the better thing with a higher rate of fire. So I died. Also, I'm bad at video games, so that doesn't help.
Factor.
It's a thing.
Few
I
variables
understand.
in. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, you might have saw my amazing Gamescom footage at IGN. That was perfect. in
Oh,
every
that was
way.
great. Yeah, you got a little heat from that, didn't you?
Everyone was like, "Why didn't you guys let Destin play? This is terrible." And I was just like, "Look, like I didn't adjust the mouse settings. I'm sorry." Like it's like somebody took the mouse and they cranked it up. Like my mouse here does 1750 DPI. It's like it was at 3000 DPI, and I somehow like figured it out. by the end. Well, apparently not. But, yeah.
That's one of the things that people don't understand about capture sessions is like you're often just like you're like, okay, you have like 2 minutes to set up everything you need to record, and then you're just tossed into the game. And then most of the time it's like, oh God, this person was playing on inverted. Let's go switch that. Oh God, they
always
were
inverted.
But they don't care. Like the community doesn't care. They don't know. They don't know about the production challenges that all of us face when we're about to stream. They just want a good stream, have a good time. And when they get crappy footage, that's on me. And I actually felt bad about that because that's my job at IGN. So I was like, look, yeah, okay, it could have been better. I've learned my lesson. Check the sensitivity settings when you're playing on PC, and I'll do better. Forgive me, internet.
I don't know about you. The worst one that I ever had was it was for Sparrow Racing League. The second time it came back, for some reason, the person that was playing before me was on legacy controls.
Oh my God!
Like inverted legacy controls.
Oh, inverted legacy.
And I was like, what? Legacy controls work as long as you don't think about it. The second you start thinking about what you're trying to do, you're never going to be able to get it to work ever again. So like I was fine, and then I realized I was on inverted, then I swapped it back, and then I did something, and I didn't win that race at all.
I think I play with Legacy. Is that the one where
both left and right sticks do like the same thing? You control, I think, movement with left and then looking up and down with the right stick, but then moving left or right on the analog sticks causes you to rotate with both of them.
Oh no, that's not how I play.
That sounds
scary. It's really weird.
It sounds like some dark ages of video games.
Yeah, it's from when you used to be able to plug 2 N64 controllers in and play GoldenEye using 2 N64.
It's someone's grandpa.
Right.
Someone's grandpa who is used to that controller is using Legacy.
When we were down at Guardian Con, we did that. It was like that 1v1 challenge that was broadcast.
Oh yeah.
And I hadn't used a controller in literally a year. Like I had not touched a controller in Destiny in a year, and I had to go up against Fallout Plays, and the buttons were mapped weird. Like I didn't know what the slide button was, and I didn't know there was another button that was like really integral that I didn't know. It was like it wasn't that bad, but it was rough.
That was what happened when I 1v1 Dylan, when we did the Bungie bounty on them. That's what happened with me.
I don't think so, Pope.
In your own setup at home?
What are you talking about? It was weird. It was like nothing was set up right, and I was on controller and then PC, and it was weird.
Huh.
Excuses.
It was on PlayStation.
Excuses, yeah.
Was it?
Just PlayStation.
Watts, you were in that, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah.
I remember us talking about it because it was like crazy.
We pretty much carried Watts, but I mean it's all right.
Brian had a really great tether, and that's hard to say. There was a time where Brian had a great tether. Shut down a super. Never seen it before. It's crazy.
You guys are welcome for throwing, by the way.
Yeah,
you didn't throw crap.
Swear to God, that check's in the mail.
I know why I didn't see it. Our panel, that was the only panel slot they had for us. So we had the panel when like this epic match was happening.
Oh, you're talking about the Gambit
Guardian Con one.
Guardian Con.
The Gambit, yeah.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the Bungie bounty that we were playing against Bungie for.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a bunch of shit talking that happened over Twitter, and Dylan 1v1 me, and I said I'll 1v1 you if we decide that this is finished with us versus you in a Bungie bounty, and so we played. He beat me barely by like 1 kill. He cheated.
Close.
He cheated. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then Watts carried us the rest of the way. It was good.
That part was true.
That
part was true.
Well, we have got
nothing to talk about.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's just.
Did you guys get the Thunderlord this week?
Hell
yeah.
Yes.
Man, I didn't have time. It was really hard, and it took me forever to get through the quest. I really hate that they're making this content for people that are just like have no life.
It takes about 5 minutes.
Streamers are.
I did the entire quest in 20 minutes.
Yeah, especially if you like turn into engrams or if you just buy the engrams, like you don't even have to get them in the wild. It really takes like 5 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think, Destin, about going back to the Cosmodrome for that?
It was awesome. It really, I love nostalgia plays like that. It was really, really fun, and getting to see it and remember that. Oh yeah, during Rise of Iron, they introduced snow in that space, so you were going back to that version. So canonically, it's still there. I question why they were like, "Here's a tease. All right, get out of here." Like,
Yeah, you can't go back to it or anything,
see.
right?
Yeah, you can't revisit the space. You can't boot up that mission again unless you do it on an alt or something.
But still, you want to like do some patrols, right?
Yeah, it was cool to go back, and it would be really cool if they brought back Destiny 1 in the D2 engine or something.
I was surprised that they brought us back to the Rise of Iron Cosmodrome as opposed to the vanilla Cosmodrome, where the Rise of Iron,
right?
What's
it's
that?
canon. That's what happened.
Story timeline, Rise of Iron, it's still like a frost over the whole space.
Yeah,
that's true.
So it wouldn't make any sense if you go back and it's all grassy.
Yeah, and there's no hole in the wall, you know.
Around it, but
that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Take that, Briar.
Jeez, Briar, not respecting the storyline. God,
respect the lore.
It gave me all kinds of like nostalgia. I loved going back there, hearing the music and seeing the plays. Even, you know, I picked apart the texture maps. I'm like, well, these texture maps are good, but not as good as some of the ones that are in D2 now. And it just it made me want to play D1, but with delicious 240 frames per second.
Well, that's the thing. You get to see what D1 would kind of look like on PC, which is also a really cool thing. You get the nostalgia, and you also get to see, oh hey, so this is what D1 areas look like.
Yeah.
Did you guys do the scannables?
Yes.
I did the car.
Yeah.
There's
5. Like the other one.
There's like 5.
There's a lot, yeah.
I just saw the car.
They're like really like specific spots. You have to stand in the snow, and then suddenly it pops up a little thing.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's hard to find them.
Well, they're really interesting. I think they. What do you guys think about them? Like what they say? Because some of them are.
I didn't pay attention.
Well, I just saw the car. So.
All right. Well, let me tell you. If you're
like, oh, this is where you were found. Yeah.
Well, I found that it was pretty interesting because it does. There's some of them that kind of talk about your past or like nostalgic. Some of them are referencing. One of them's referencing, you know, the fight that there's lots of ether. There's traces of ether. You know, if you scanned it before you went in there, you would get a hint as to the enemy you're fighting. I guess that's my play on that. But then there's also one that I believe hints towards Black Armory and what we might find there, and that we may actually come back there. I'm not 100% certain of that. It's just, I think we might be coming back to the Cosmodrome or for Black Armory in some way.
I would love that if that's the case. But Amanda was like, "This might be the last time you're ever here," and I was like, "Don't you say that, Amanda."
No,
so you think it was a team vote? You think they're setting us up?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they give us a hint, and there's some people have scanned it and combined them all, so you can listen to them or watch them on YouTube if you don't want to go out there and scan them. There's people that have put them up on YouTube, and you
can't go back and scan them.
Did all them
yeah.
But they're not lore collectibles. They're literally just audio bits, so you don't get any kind of like triumph or anything for them.
So you can listen to them, and they're really interesting. I think they there's some foreshadowing in there, and I don't want to like ruin it for anybody, but I want people to listen to it, and you can find it on YouTube. I
gotta tell you, I was not as impressed with the throwback. The nostalgia didn't get to me in this mission like it got to you guys. Like I feel like Bungie has really been like leaning into nostalgia for like the last 2 years, and I'm kind of getting sick of it, to be honest with you. Like I feel like Rise of Iron was all about nostalgia, and then they've done a lot of nostalgia stuff, bringing back old weapons and even quests for those old weapons in Destiny 2.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but can you give me some examples for context?
Rise of Iron, the Kostov mission or Kvostov mission.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The Galahorn mission. Like I feel like Rise of Iron was very heavy on nostalgia. I feel like even the Age of Triumph, where you know they brought back the old raids and like that kind of stuff, is like Destiny Year 3 was to me just like a nostalgia year for Destiny, right? But then when they go back to that well, like I feel like it's just too soon. Like you can't just keep hitting this nostalgia well and expect it to never run dry.
Yeah,
for me, it's running dry.
But we've had
even getting the Thunderlord as a reward was like, this is a really great gun.
One.
But I already had a Thunderlord for 3 years. Like,
I hear you, but it's
it
free.
Be cooler to get a new gun.
See, like as long as they're giving this stuff for free in there, then I'm okay with it. And that does make Black Armory a big question mark. Like, is how much of the Black Armory is going to be nostalgia, old stuff brought forward? And I really do hope there's a lot of new stuff, because in that sense, then yeah, I'm going to be disappointed. But for me, if it's content that they just add back into D2 that any base game owner can have, I think it's fantastic personally. Right. And it's been over a year, and going back there, it was like, oh man, I love this place. There's so many memories for me there.
You guys kind of touched on it, Watts, for the most part. Why don't we have Destiny 1 on PC? I mean, it's just file save as, right? Apparently.
Copy paste.
That's all it is, right?
Copy paste.
Control C, Control V, baby. There you go.
Yeah, let's do it.
See, I found
Control A, Control C, Control V. There you go.
I think it would be cool if they had a version for PC. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
That's it. I'm done.
Oh, so I think that it was interesting to tie up some loose ends a little bit. You know, that was the guy that we escaped from in our very first mission, and we go back and kill him. You know, if we were able.
Kickless again.
Yeah, did we already kill him?
It was a different guy.
Did you kill him?
It was a different guy.
Was it a different guy?
I think
I
so.
thought it was, when I was playing it, I thought it was the same guy that had gotten. But did we kill him in that one?
No, he definitely died.
Oh, that's right.
And then we fly away on the ship, and the stranger's like, "What's up with that guy?"
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, you actually killed a Kel? Wow.
That's right.
And every Kel after that is always strutting around. Brah, brah, brah. Then you kill him, you're like, easy. Right?
I've seen a lot of people talk about how this is so much easier compared to the Whisper, and the Whisper is so awesome. I don't think they were going for the same thing at all. I think this was very much so like, we're bringing machine guns back. Let's have a way for everyone to get this gun type in their arsenal going into Black Armory. So I don't think it was supposed to be something that's difficult or only the select few players have.
Yeah.
No, this reminded me more of the Gallahorn mission from Rise of Iron, where it's like, you remember the Gallahorn, right? You love the Gallahorn. Well, now we're going to bring you back to this place you love and give you this gun you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it is. And again, because it's free, everybody can access it. Even like base game Destiny 2 owners can access it. I think that's cool. I like that. I like that aspect. And again, seeing D1 stuff in D2 engine, and especially on PC, that makes me very excited. But if they lean heavily into that with this yearly content that we've paid for, that is supposed to be fresh stuff that gets introduced in the game, then I will be disappointed, and I'll be like, "What the hell?" Like,
yeah, I think that's how I feel as well. If for the seasonal stuff, that's all free. If you want to bring back some throwback armors or some weapons, totally fine. But in the paid content, it needs to be interesting, new, fresh weapons, especially for Black Armory, because it's so heavily focused around these golden age, awesome, crazy weapons that we've never seen before. So those weapons, they need to be something pretty special. Definitely no bringbacks.
Now, I will say this: the new Thunderlord is way better than the old Thunderlord.
It is way better. It's really good.
An amazing gun. Like, if they had renamed this something else, it could have been any gun, because it's so much better than the old Thunderlord.
How much heat do you think they would get if they did a nostalgia play for Black Armory? Like, you're already expressing that they've kind of dipped into this well too many times. So for Black Armory, if they do that like throughout the whole of the expansion, it'll probably be met with negative reception, right?
I think it depends on who's talking. If it's somebody who's new to Destiny 2, I don't think they're going to have a problem with it. It's somebody who's spent the last 4 years playing Destiny. I think some people are going to be sick of it, and some people are going to receive it well. I think it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
If they keep doing it, though, like that well isn't endless, right? It's like eventually it's going to run dry.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, this is the type of game where we like to grind content, and it's okay if we're playing similar things so long as they have the reward structures like built correctly. And I mean, I personally would love to see old D1 content come back for free as new strikes. Just repurpose a lot of that stuff and put it as strikes.
If it's part of a season pass, is it free?
I think it would have to be part of the base game as like the seasonal update for free stuff.
The seasonal updates, yeah, not the paid content.
Like new strikes with new story pushing content for Black Armory, but how about some old stuff, like some redux of strikes that they could bring back from D1, and like that's a perfect injection of new content for players both new to the game and old to the game as well. Like maybe even throw in some sort of weapon that is exclusive to that strike.
Yeah, strike specific loot.
Yeah,
I'd be down.
Or if they took those spaces and did something with like they did with the Haunted Forest and created evolving spaces that include D1 stuff and D2 stuff.
For me to generate any interest, they have to do something brand new with it. Like if they were going to bring back the old raids, they'd have to do something brand new with those raids. I don't want to grind those raids again. Like we did Vault of Glass for a year, then we did, or for Vanilla Destiny, then we did it again for the whatever Triumph era, whatever it was called. Like I don't want to see it come around for the third time. I want new content, I want new experiences, new stuff to do. I want a sequel to Destiny. I don't want Destiny back.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, if it's anything that we have to pay for that's bringing back D1 stuff, then there's obvious reason the community gets salty about that. But if it's straight up free content that's added to the base game, I think it's a win-win. Like I'm not going to be like, no thanks. Yeah.
If you want to do Whisper style missions for Last Word and other weapons that people were crazy about, I love that. I think the Whisper mission is absolutely amazing. It's bringing back an old weapon. So but we all love that. But yeah, I don't nope put it in the paid stuff. I want super cool, new, awesome, fresh things that I get to try and figure out and put in my build the way that I want to use them.
Yeah. Did you do Whisper after?
Your mic is cutting out. Whatever
your mic's cutting out.
Whatever you did to adjust it, revert it back because it definitely blew it out.
Oh boy.
Even the Whisper mission, like the mission was so much cooler than the reward. I know that everybody loves the Whisper, the worm, and it's the most powerful gun in Destiny for certain situations. But it's also the same gun that we've been using for 3 years. Like, wouldn't it have been cooler if the best two guns in Destiny PvE weren't the Sleeper Simulant and Whisper of the Worm, which are basically just duplicates of the guns we've been using? Like, wouldn't it be so cool if like the best two PvE weapons were brand new and you had to learn brand new ways to use them and maximize your
like that?
So I'm going to try this again. Do you hear me now?
Still blown out.
All right. I don't know what's going on. I'll try and fix it.
Actually,
that's better.
That's a lot better. Just don't.
I literally didn't do anything.
But
you
changed your head.
Instead of being close to the mic, you moved away from it.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's weird. Sorry, guys. What was I gonna say? So I forgot. Sorry, go ahead. I'm distracted by the tech issue.
I don't know, Briar. I'm not taking issue with this. I think that I think we're seeing something happening with a group at Bungie that's creating Whisper of the Worm. We're seeing, Thunderlord. We're probably going to see Last Word. Your nostalgic type weapons coming back that fan favorites that we love from D1 that are coming back and are being made available for everybody. For people who haven't played D1, have just played D2, they're getting a chance to get their hands on these awesome weapons.
Are we going to have to go through this again in Destiny 3, Pope? Like all the Destiny 1 weapons and all the Destiny 2 weapons?
Here's where I am with this. I think that.
And then Destiny 4, are we going to get all the Destiny 1, Destiny 2, Destiny 3 weapons?
No, man, like that I feel like that we're at a point with Forsaken that they've changed the way that they're making game design, and we've got to look at the way that they're making the game, and we got to look forward instead of looking back on this one. That's my opinion.
That's what I'd like to be doing.
Brian,
that's what they're.
Do you not?
They're not charging for any of this stuff. It's nostalgic, fun interest into the game, and even the old exotics are coming back with random rolls, even when they drop with armor and weapons, and it's interesting to get them. Yes, I would like to get Forsaken weapons, but I am getting random rolls on my stuff now. So, but I don't know. I like the way that they're doing it.
Yeah, I think the question, Briar, is: are you enjoying what they've done with Forsaken so far?
Some of it, yeah. I do, definitely. I think Forsaken is the best version of Destiny 2 that we've had. But I think it's more interesting. I think we've talked this topic to death. I think what Desta brought up with no Destiny 4, I think is a much more interesting conversation to move to.
I mean, it's a 10-year contract with Activision, right? We know that based on the leaked court documents. So I think they're going to do this content cycle that we currently have lined up. That'll take us another year about till next September. Potentially they do another one after that. Then they launch Destiny 3. And then that's the end of the contract. They've already announced their partnership with Tencent, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
So they're working on a new IP there. And the team could potentially shift to that. They could pass off the Destiny IP the way that they did with the Halo IP. And I think as a studio, when you work on a brand for a decade, you kind of want a refresher. You want to like get your creative juices flowing again in a new way. How long were they on the Halo franchise? Do you guys know?
When did the Xbox launch?
So you got to
like
remember though,
decade,
that they
right?
actually had a prototype build for the Mac running in Macworld before the game came out. So they were on Halo for... my audio is better, by the way. NetEase. Thank you. Yeah, it was NetEase, not Tencent.
Yep.
NetEase.
NetEase. I'm close with names sometimes.
It works. No, if you Googled it, you'd see it.
Well, what do you guys think? I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
That makes sense to me. Go ahead, Watts.
If we're I'm not going to go specific about leaks that we've heard about D3, but it sounds like they're going in a quite different direction with what kind of game they want to make. It sounds like they're really trying to figure out what Destiny is, and they feel like it's going to be better as a more RPG based game with FPS elements rather than the other way around. And I think if they lean into that, that kind of makes it refreshing for them, because they're making almost a completely different game. It will have the same world and the same lore, but the things that they can create, like the classes, the subclasses, the weapons, all that stuff would be completely different to what we're currently seeing.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't talked about subclasses so much. I think the only context that I remember reading about, because that story was super interesting to me, was that characters would have some sort of PvE element, like in the world you choose lighter, you choose dark, and then you end up on that side of the battle and stuff like that. Am I way off base? Is that interesting to you guys?
No, I mean, I'd definitely be
I
interested.
find that to be incredibly interesting.
The leak was it wasn't very specific. It wasn't like, we're going to get this and this is what the subclass is going to be.
It was
but
like
I think
3 comments.
Yeah, if they're going more towards RPG, then there should be, if we're thinking what an RPG is and having that PvE and, world battles and stuff, you'd think of more extensive skill trees, which is way different than what we have right now.
There's been a lot of new people coming into chat lately because, obviously Destiny 2 has been free on PC, and a lot of them want to know about like skills and classes and all that. And I'm always like, well, I say pick a hunter because I'm a hunter at heart and I love, the hunter lifestyle. But like at the end of the day, Destiny doesn't really have like true diversity when it comes to classes. So if they do take that direction with Destiny 3, like, I think it'd be very interesting, and I think it could open up the sandbox in a way that right now it feels very one-dimensional at times, because it's like damage. Like I want
from all the you want more RPG class specific kind of play styles where it's like, I'm a Titan, so I'm a tank and I take the damage, and the kind of skills that I have in weapons and armor reflect that, and I'm a hunter and I'm DPS, and Warlock, I'm healer or buffer, debuff kind of person. And for all the leaks that I've heard, it kind of sounds like they're leaning more into that type of game. Of course, we don't know how true that is. We don't know if those things changed like 3 weeks ago. Who knows where these things are coming from.
I wonder how much is from the leaks and how much is from what people have extrapolated in their own minds from those leaks and created a fiction of. I see that happen a lot, especially with the current YouTube culture. People just go crazy with what they believe it could be, and then that becomes some sort of fact that people think is true.
I've seen that
as
well.
I think it's been like four like one-line things that the guy posted that he believes Destiny 3 to be. There's also the other thing that had a lot of people concerned last week. Activision talking about the microtransaction model not working and being disappointed with Destiny.
Were they talking about the microtransaction, or were they talking about sales being disappointing?
They specifically said it didn't meet their expectations, and they want to look to new revenue streams. They were discussing microtransactions specifically, if I'm remembering correctly.
Honestly, they just need to give me some cool ass hot hair from my hunter. I will buy it.
And
give us some beards that we can buy. You know,
I want to grow a beard in Destiny.
I will pay for that. Give me good microtransactions and a good game.
I want Red Dead Redemption beard tech.
Level 10 beard. A little bit on the side, 7 on the mustache. Let's go.
I find that incredibly concerning because I already kind of have a problem with the microtransactions in Destiny. Like, if you're buying a full price game with a season pass and there's microtransactions on top of that, like, you know, how much is this game going to cost me?
$500.
Agree. Totally agree.
If you want a beard, it costs you a little bit extra.
Hearing it from an Activision earnings call, because that means the parent company is affecting the lower level company, like in the tier of hierarchy, and that's concerning for me because when monetization starts impacting creativity, that's one of my biggest pet peeves with the game design genre. It's why I was so frustrated with Tess. I believe it was Tess in the original Destiny being taken out and then replaced to sell us stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, I don't think when you're a creative guy, I'm like, how can I sell some paper masks in Destiny to make more money? Like, that's not what you do as a creative. But
so much about Destiny
there is
2.
the business to keep in mind. Like, it's a difficult balance.
Mm-hmm.
So much about Destiny 2 at the launch of it felt like it was steering you toward Tess as well. It's like, you know, the slowdown of gaining experience and the trials kind of showcase of everybody's emotes, and like there's so much that just seemed to be like subtly pushing you toward Tess Everest and going to spend money at that store. I feel like
they've admitted that
subtly.
That was the wrong direction to take the game, and that they've changed the direction. And then
right, but now Activision is saying publicly that they're not happy with the sales of Destiny.
Right.
So we got one story from Bungie and one story from Activision.
I'm honestly not concerned about that call at all.
No,
because so first things, Destiny is completely changing the way that they're releasing content. We're not doing DLC campaign things anymore. We're having seasons that are free to update the game for people who don't want to buy DLC, and then we have these experiences that are expanding on the end game. And this is going to be, Black Armory is the first iteration that we're seeing. And I think if I'm from a business standpoint, I'm like, okay, well, Destiny Forsaken didn't sell as much as we expected, but that is to be expected because Destiny 2 released such a negative review across the board. But let's see how this new release of content goes and then see where we are from there. I don't think any company could see what happened with Destiny 2 initially and expect things to Forsaken to come out, have good reviews, and sell like COD or Red Dead or anything.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing about Destiny 2 reviewed well. Like, if you look it up on Metacritic, the reviews are good. It wasn't until a month later that people started getting upset with Destiny. Like, and they got to the end game.
Well, it was the core fan base realized that, like, the structure of the game changed fundamentally.
The people that were still playing were not happy with
if you look up reviews of Destiny and then you look up, like, the general attitude of people who talk about Destiny on, like, Reddit or Twitter or whatever, like, it's shocking how different they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people.
Your mic cut out.
You also don't happen to... Did you check the thing in Discord where it automatically adjusts your input sensitivity?
I switched noise suppression on and off. I'll adjust the input sensitivity thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like your mic sensitivity is dipping down.
It sounds super bassy and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Well, I adjusted the gain originally. Anyway.
Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt the conversation.
No, you're good.
What were you going to say? We can hear you now.
There, I turned off automatically determine input sensitivity. Is that better?
No, it should be on, actually.
On.
Yeah.
Oh, it was on.
Oh, okay. Right. Then it was something else. Yeah, just the game.
All right, whatever. I quit.
Tech problems.
Yay.
I swear to God, I'm cursed audio-wise for this show.
No, that's just audio.
Last time.
That's just audio.
True. That is just audio.
I think that I am concerned a little bit. I don't like that the parent company kind of came out and said they didn't do well because they were I looked on Forbes from August 2017 to August 2018. They were number 8, and people say that they were higher than that actually, like later in the life cycle of Destiny 2. So I'm just like, You're telling me they performed that well sales wise, and it's still not enough for you? Like, how can they?
Yeah,
win
I'm
as
having a little
creatives?
problem with that.
Yeah, after last week's show, some people had sent some tweets about talking about how like there was over $1 billion generated essentially from the launch of Forsaken.
What were they expecting from Forsaken?
Like
That's
if
the
you
problem.
generate $1 billion
like,
in September for your sales, and you're like, well, you're not hitting these numbers, and then it's like,
where did that number come from? $1 billion.
I think of the overall
It could be any
sales for
number.
Forsaken, it was around like 1.3 or something like that for the month of September or the launch or something like that. Like after,
there's some crazy stats for Forsaken. It was, there were some people that were floating around the digital download numbers and all the different.
How would
things
they even know that? Like Activision doesn't talk about that publicly, do they?
They have to for their investors. They're a publicly traded company, so they kind of have to reveal.
It's crazy because like you look at that and Forsaken did amazingly well, and that's why I have a problem with that earnings call, and I don't want to like continue giving it. I feel like the game is in a really great spot. They're publicly
bright too.
Luke Smith put out a tweet saying that they're focused on the fan base and what the game, that they like the way that the game is playing. They're focused on the way that it's playing now. It was a way of saying to us, hey, ignore that shit. We're making more of this game.
Yeah.
And I think if they continue doing that, this is good.
Forsaken has been nominated for some Game Awards.
I nominated it.
Which can you talk about more of a turnaround than a game being just completely pooped on by most of the community to now being nominated for 2 awards?
Yeah, it's quite the turnaround, right?
And we can't forget that Luke did come out and throw the hammer down and said that they're incredibly proud of what the team has done, and that's the direction that they're going. Take that, Activision.
Yeah. So the only thing that can make me think from a logical point of view as to why they would say that is that the adoption rate was significantly lower than they thought was going to be, as opposed to sales numbers potentially. So maybe they were expecting to have like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 million concurrents every day playing the game, and it was only 2 or 3 million concurrents playing the game every day across 3 platforms. And maybe that's why they significantly underperformed what they thought was going to happen. But it's crazy to think that means, we better like get more microtransactions.
I'll tell you what, I think it's incredibly smart that they're giving away the game for free on PC right now.
Very smart.
And I'd like to see them do it on Xbox and PS4 as well.
I don't even think Xbox has had a really good sale, which sucks.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's been free on PlayStation. It's been free on PC now. Still nothing for Xbox. Where's the Xbox love?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Who's
really
the head
good
over
for
there,
PC,
Phil Schiller?
though.
Doesn't he play?
Spencer.
Come on, man.
Phil Spencer.
Phil
Spencer. Make some things happen.
Schiller.
Did you really?
Spencer's a big Destiny player, actually. It's kind of cool to see like somebody at that level who has like a crazy level character.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting.
This free game was really, really cool for PC because obviously console players have been exposed to Destiny for a number of years, whereas PC haven't. So I'm seeing so many people come to the game and they're like, they have no idea about Destiny. They don't know absolutely nothing. And it gets some really interesting feedback from people who actually don't just want to poop on games and they actually go in and experience it and give feedback. Yeah. And probably the biggest feedback I've seen that's really interesting, and I think we all kind of know this already, is that Destiny doesn't do a good job of telling you what's going on. Like, it doesn't tell you about exotics or enhancement cores and what they do, or they don't tell you anything. You just kind of have to
go to Bungie.net to find that stuff out and
read.
Like,
you have to go on YouTube videos and the TWAB and updates and.
You know what they should do? They should be like, hey, you got an exotic engram. Here's a 15-part tutorial about exotic engrams and what they mean. And why
they should. More Monster World tutorials.
Monster Hunter World
tutorials. Just big wall of text.
20
hours you got
later.
a weapon that has
a dialogue box pops up, and it's like,
with 20 pages.
Hey, here, you got
like when you play Gambit for the first time and there's like 50 pop-ups?
Yes.
Yeah.
But do that after your first game's over. It just pops it up and it's like, hey, so you play Gambit. This is what it actually is.
That's funny.
Take the survey.
Yeah. Interestingly, somebody came in and was like, hey, how do I do these things that require a team? and how do I get into a clan? Like, where in the game do I
right.
go and find this to do this? And I was like, I'm really sorry, but you being on Twitch right now,
Discord, yeah.
going to Reddit, going to Discord, going to those places, that's actually how you get into a clan. And they're like, for real?
So I brought up the actual quotes about what they were saying. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good. That was it.
We have not yet seen the full core re-engage Destiny, which has led to the underperformance against expectations to date. Some players are in wait and see mode. If you're in, you're deeply engaged. If not, we think now is the time to bring players back.
So that does kind of lead to what I was thought. Like their actual daily concurrence is not hitting what they thought was going to happen. And it's because the D2 endgame was just so bad that how could you expect all of them to return? Yeah.
Well, it's like the people that got burned by D1, the people that got burned by D2, like a lot of people just are like, fuck it. I don't care.
I'm out.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are like, I'm twice burned now, my fault. I'm going to take a step back. Yeah. Which is too bad because, like, again, Forsaken is definitely one of the best, if not the best expansion they've done to date. Yeah.
Correct.
Briar, did you fall asleep?
Yeah, my bad.
Do you guys want to get into the TWAB?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, before we do that, though, one more time. Thunderlord's amazing, man. I freaking love it. I was so happy
really
to get
good.
it. Lightning explosions.
It does a lot of damage.
Yes,
It does.
Yes.
Oh my god, I tried it on a spider tank and it shredded like the leg armor plating. And I was like, wow, this thing's nuts.
I don't know if it's supposed to do that much, but I'm not going to complain.
I
Just
hope they
leave it
don't.
alone.
Don't
Did you see the ribbon?
Perfectly reasonable.
The ribbon clip? No, I didn't see
Everything
it.
gets melted by
People
Thunderlord.
tried Thunderlord on ribbon. Instead of using cluster bombs, they used Thunderlord and they one-faced ribbon.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
No, they one-phased Morgoth too without melting
everything.
point. I think it does a lot of damage. It's kind of crazy.
It's working as well as the briefcase in Hitman 2.
The briefcase. Oh,
I can't wait to play that game.
Briar, the briefcase is amazing.
Are you playing it? I cannot wait.
I played it
I
last
love
night,
Hitman 1.
and you don't get the briefcase right away, but like once you unlock it, you have a sudden perspective in life where everything's getting cased and briefed, and it's great. You're casing the joint and you're making it brief. It also targets around the corner and defies all physics. You go like
I've
this type of
seen
thing.
clips. It has tracking on it. I don't understand.
It's a tomahawk.
Working as intended.
It's beautiful.
So one of the rewards, since we're finishing up talking about Thunderlord, one of the rewards for getting the Thunderlord is on the Bungie Rewards program on their website, you can get a shirt
Right.
It's
with
really cool.
what is it?
With a what?
A death dealer on a horse with the heavy
It's
metal.
like a
It's like a heavy
reaper
metal
with
band.
a thunderbolt and a horse and a thunderlord.
Looks like it's a horseman of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Right. Carrying a Thunderlord as
It's-
painted on your van.
It feels 80s metal.
Yes. It's 80s.
It's awesome.
I want it.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
It's
Yeah,
long
I mean-
sleeve though. Why have
Fun
can't be
fact,
short
this
sleeve?
was
You
the
can cut the
original
sleeves off and
concept
look even
art
more
for
metal.
the
Right?
Thunderlord.
You got a point. I
Right
didn't
off
think
of the
about that,
shoulder.
of course. More punk.
Add
That's
some
great.
studs.
You got to earn the gun to buy the T-shirt, right?
Damn, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
tough.
a tough one.
I wonder what the artist was doing. Like they bring in, all right, here's Last Word. Yeah, it shoots really fast. Here's Thorn. It's poison over time. It took a little bit more time on the next one. Just don't be too judgmental. This is Thunderlord. I have a guy holding it on a horse with a lightning bolt. I don't know if we can incorporate that somehow. And they just never use that art in the game. Like, throw on the t-shirt. It looks totally metal.
What does it say? What is that text around it?
It's I believe it's the flavor text. They return from the fields afar. Their eyes have passed. Yeah, it's the flavor text on the word.
Oh.
Nice.
All right.
That guy says that Holtz needs the shirt and get the mullet.
Agreed.
I think that's
Little difficult. Do the mullet right now.
It's called a grind. You can grind out a mullet, all right?
You can grind out the mullet.
Yeah.
No excuses, man. You chose that haircut when you
I
went
can't
to
hear
Texas.
any of you. I don't have my headphones on.
Don't
Of
even.
course.
So
They started talking about Season of the Forge as well.
it's important that you know that you need to get this before November 27th. So the Lost Cryptarch quest will be available through
Yes.
November
That
27th.
is
So
important.
you need to get Thunderlord before then. If
That's
you have
when
the quest.
Season of the Forge comes out. Is November 27th.
Mm-hmm.
And then a week later, we'll get the Black
Armory.
Armory expansion. Or not expansion. Season Black Armory. What do we
Seasonal
call Black
update?
Armory?
It's like,
Update?
It's like an expansion, but well, no, it's not. It's
It's a
content
Hey,
drop.
It's a.
DLC.
You think it's DLC? I guess it is DLC.
It's
right?
not
You
a
can pay
DLC.
for
I mean,
it.
it is downloadable content, I suppose.
Mhm.
If you're looking at the specific definition, it is downloadable.
You
and
have to pay for it, and it's downloadable.
Paid
Yeah.
There you
seasonal
go.
content.
So, yeah. They're trying to change the
Content
terminology I think they're trying to soften the marketing terminology of the product, and that's a PR strategy. But it's
They're trying to make it
I mean, if
be
you
like, we're making your end game better. We're not giving you campaign or cutscenes. Please expect just exotics and like
Yeah.
a new raid. It's got a new raid layer.
I wonder how that's going to go over, right? It's like not getting new cutscenes, new story stuff. Like, how's
I'm
that going to
bummed
go
about
over?
that.
You're
Forsaken,
bummed about
like, no, I'm bummed about that. Like,
Oh, okay.
Forsaken was the first time we got one of the better stories with the Destiny lore. And like, you look back at the Destiny 2 launch, that's pretty compelling, but it all ended up being fairly meaningless except for the Traveler exploding. But now we have Forsaken. It speaks about Cade's death, and they've continued to tell the story every week with little hints and snippets with the Queen in the background.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I really, really like this.
We're gonna get
that's
more
why
of that,
I think
though.
I think they're going to continue that thought process and that storyline and keep talking about it.
Mhm.
We're just not going to
Well-
get like the big sweeping story cutscenes and missions. I
I
think.
hope they do that for D3 then, like.
Oh, you don't want to
bring
see
back
the story
cutscenes.
continue?
No, I do want to see the story continue.
No,
I think they're just
sorry,
gonna
with
use
Black Armory.
in-game cutscenes.
It's just no cutscenes.
Yeah.
I think it will, but like they'll still do in-game cutscenes, right? They're just not going to do like blur cinematics or whatever, because they didn't
Correct.
specify no cutscenes ever.
I think they're talking more so about not having the fully acted, like fleshed out CG cutscenes. They're
Yeah.
you can do in-game stuff with the in-game engine.
Exactly. I imagine those cutscenes cost a lot of money to have all those high
Yes.
renders and all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah. So that's quite a bit of money that could go towards reskinning the Thunderlord.
A new exotic, brand new.
So
yeah.
November 27th, the Season of the Forge will begin. Is it December 4th? The Black Armory is
Yes.
released.
Yep.
So we get kind of like a week with theoretically
It's
like a 1 week meta. Like, will we get like a patch with like meta updates and stuff like that? Like, what is the difference between the Season of the Forge and?
Do you think PvP is going to break silence finally?
There's
What?
a Vidoc coming out on the 27th, which is probably going to tell us stuff. So if there's any information about trials or PvP or anything, I assume it's going to be in the Vidoc.
Probably not. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're right, Dustin. Probably not.
That's crazy.
Probably not.
It's been 3 months. We got another 3 to go before we hear any changes about PvP.
That's how it used to be.
It's true.
Especially during December, like December, January, you wouldn't hear a peep out of it.
And they warned us about that in this 12. They're like, it's
Yeah,
going to
over-
be light on info during Christmas time.
Christmas,
Mm.
or were they talking about Thanksgiving?
I
It's
took
usually
it as
Christmas.
Christmas.
It's basically like for like the month of December almost, and then most of part of January.
The first
So,
part.
Okay, so they say next week, as the holiday season begins in our neck of the woods, the news coming out of the studio will be random and light. The week after, we'll be exploring all the details of another kind of season. Stay tuned. So it sounds like they're taking the week off for Thanksgiving, and the week after they'll be
Mhm.
talking about the new season.
Mhm.
And we need to hear about the dawning. Should be hearing about
Yeah.
that
Oh, that's
after
true.
Black Armory comes out.
Who
also have
wants
some-
Destiny 2 SRL?
Nobody.
I want Destiny 2 SRL. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I want it because I know of a ton of other people really like it. Like, people really like SRL.
Have they ever checked out a racing game?
I don't know, but they like driving their fucking Sparrows, and they want to drive them fast in the game instead of just having them blow up every 10 feet.
Have you not thought about SRL when you're playing the Prison Elders Strike and been pancaked by a train?
The only time I think about SRL is when somebody in chat says, "Hey, you think they're going to do SRL again?" And I'm like, I hope not.
I hope they do just to spite you, like just you.
Like, okay, I don't want the Dawning to just focus on SRL, but I would like to see SRL to finally come back, especially with, the PC and the nice graphics.
There's going to be snowballs, Tefty. We're going to have snowball fights.
On SRL?
For the people that want SRL, I hope they bring it back.
Chuck a snowball while you're racing?
I don't care.
Knock someone off the Sparrow? That would be even better.
Oh, a kick? How about a blue turtle shell?
How about throwing snowballs while on your Sparrow?
How about throwing engrams? Yeah, how about you pick up an engram and then you chuck the engram?
Like the exploding exotic engrams?
Yes.
They already have that in there. There, it's in the game.
Copy paste.
They also showed off a couple of teaser images for Season of the Forge with the EXO, Season of the Drifter, and Season of the Blank with a ninja robot.
It's Sweeperbot.
Yeah.
You think it's Sweeperbot? You think he traded in the broom for a sword?
But no, let's put it together, right?
EXO Lakshmi?
No, it's
no. The EXO, no, that's different EXO for sure.
Because when we saw like the little teasers of all of the DLCs that are coming, it showed Callus, like Callus's face and statue, and there was a door. And then we have Sweeperbot, which we know Sweeperbot's doing something funky with Callus.
Yep.
So, Season of the Sweeperbot.
Do you think Callus is going to come back?
Sweeperbot's story.
Well, look at the background of the
Callus's
image.
Yeah.
Fat growth.
It's got a callus like
fatty
type.
growth.
Fatty growth.
Season of the fatty growth.
Maybe Benedict gets fat. His story to plumpness.
Benedict rounds out.
We have a list of things to expect on November 27th. Infamy rank points awarded for all bounties will be doubled. Numerous daily challenges, and weeklies have had their objectives retuned to take less time and be easier to complete. A new bounty has been added to the daily rotation that requires primeval envoy kills. There'll be infamy rewards. Subdivision rank ups now award Gambit legendary weapons or armor.
It's good.
They're changing the primeval catch-up mechanics to make them a little more punishing if you're
we need to talk about
behind.
This.
Okay, so teams that summon their primeval second can only ever receive one catch-up stack of Primeval Slayer. Previously, the trailing team received multiple stacks depending on how far behind they were. For instance, if the leading team has had 7 stacks of Primeval Slayer, when trailing team summoned, they would receive 4 stacks. Now they will receive only 1. So it's going to be harder to make those comebacks.
If you summon first, you're done. You win.
Yeah. Which
games aren't going to be as close.
Yeah. Man,
that's not great. It's good and bad. It's good. It's good. I know a lot of us have been upset by the catch-up mechanics because it feels like you're being punished for summoning first. But also, this could have a very negative effect of if some team is behind, they're not going to want to play anymore. They're just going to leave the game.
Quit out and look for another game.
It's a really tricky balance of balancing to where it's not punishing for players to summon first, but you still keep people playing the game so they're not just quitting. It's a really delicate balance they have to do.
The way it seems now, there's too much of a catch-up mechanic. It feels like there's too much of a rubber band.
I think 4 is a lot to get.
Yeah, I usually only have 2 catch-up packets.
If I summon first with my crew, it's so rare that I lose currently. So I haven't really had an issue with the catch-up mechanic in the past.
I think good teams generally, if they summon, they just burn it down.
Yeah, you burn. Like you do shoulder charges to your Titan, and then you melt them with some Warlock buddies, and the Hunter does whatever.
If I'm playing with a team, I would agree with you. If I'm playing with randoms, who knows what's going to happen?
Oh, right.
You get to 10 stacks, and you're like, guys, come on.
God, somebody shoot this guy.
Just shoot him with a pickle. He's gonna die.
You know, they're trying to not hurt him. They're trying to capture him instead of kill him.
I don't know. I think
throw a pokeball at him.
the catch-up mechanics and stuff in the game, I like that they're there. I think they are a little bit too heavy in some aspects. But I lost my train of thought. I'm just gonna go back to my coffee.
All right.
Yeah.
Magic cards. Summon your magic cards first.
You guys played World of Warcraft?
No.
Crawfish.
On November 20th through the 23rd, we get double infamy. From the 23rd to 27th, we get triple infamy. So it'll be a good time to grind for infamy.
Nice.
Grind your infamy. Also, on the note of Gambit, on this Gambit stream that they did confirm that there's going to be a Pinnacle Gambit weapon.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, that I really like, actually.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah.
So that'll come in Season of the Forge or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. Who took Bygones into the raid?
Oh,
First time.
Oh, not first time.
No? What'd you go in with? Was everybody doing an
God roll Duke Mark 44 with Outlaw Extended Mag and Rampage.
I started with Bygones and switched to Inaugural by the end of the raid.
I had a go figure. Outlaw Rampage.
Go figures real good.
I have been Nike.
Do I mean go figure?
I cannot remember.
Briar was too busy worrying about being 5'4".
Briar's like, did I raid?
How'd you guys? I didn't get to check out your stream. How'd you guys do on the raid? Sorry, I know it's way off topic.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
It was good. Yeah,
They're just out of World's First.
Yeah.
We got to Riven,
Neck to neck.
and that was as far as we got. We came back another day for Riven.
We were like 16 or 18 hours deep. Got to Riven, definitely out of gas. Came back and knocked it out. Like I think not the next day, but like the third day because we all took a break. But we did it. We got it done that week though, before reset.
Get the jacket.
Yeah,
I was incredibly proud of my team. I got the jacket too.
we placed 92nd. That's right. Yeah, it was a tough fight and it was a lot of fun. And I think those things are super fun. I love it.
Did you guys order the jacket?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did.
Hell
My
yeah.
team did. Yeah.
I
Hell
forgot to order the jacket.
What?
I did.
How are we gonna make our cool DCP music video?
I know. It slipped my mind
need the
too. And
jacket.
I
was
saw
like,
the jacket. I say, there's no universe I wear that jacket.
Dude, I don't like the
You can
jacket
borrow
either,
mine.
but
I love the jacket. I have a jacket that looks exactly like that jacket. I'm
you
aware.
better
I don't-
believe I'm gonna get the whole squad together. I'm gonna get that whole team together at PAX, and we're gonna take some awesome pictures.
Can I be in the picture?
Yeah, we're a 30-second raid team to clear Last Wish. Take a bunch of pictures of us dabbing and doing stupid shit.
Wonderful.
nice.
Yeah.
Dude, you're
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
There is more in this TWAB.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
There's more.
Briar's trying to get out of here. Briar's trying to go.
Yeah, I know. Briar. Once Briar sees like the keeping you updated section, he's checked out of it. So
Good
It's
talk.
true. I don't really see that we have to read the whole TWAB. It's not our job to be Bungie PR. We just talk
No,
about the interesting stuff.
who determines what's interesting?
We didn't even talk about the pinnacle weapon so much. What do you guys do? Do you like that? Is this an indication that there's going to be a PvE pinnacle weapon if they're doing like PvP, PvE, Gambit? Maybe, maybe not. What do you guys think?
I could see them doing like a specific perk that does damage in a way to the primeval. So it's like the only legendary weapon that has a potential to do a certain type of DPS to the primeval type of thing. I think that'd
Then
be.
what if you could run Malfeasance and that?
That's what I'm
and just
saying,
be a
yeah.
Gambit master.
Yeah, so like maybe it could stack with Malfeasance in some way. I could see them doing, because if it's a pinnacle weapon, it's got to be something that is exclusive to that weapon that you cannot get anywhere else in the sandbox.
Yes.
That's what makes it a pinnacle weapon. So if it's going to be Gambit, it needs to do something along those lines where it makes a difference when you're playing Gambit.
Definitely.
But it also makes me say, hey, can we please have a pinnacle weapon for PvE activities? as
Pure-
well?
I'm
pure
hoping they do
PvE.
that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do that. I'm hoping that it's the pinnacle weapon for Crucible. I think has been a big hit because those weapons are so unique. Whereas other legendary weapons are kind of like, yeah, you know, they're all the same. They can kind of all get the same stuff. So I hope they take that and just spread it across the board. So no matter what type of player you are, you have something to work towards in that season that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
I hope it's Kavastov. They really haven't done anything nostalgic in a while. So
good point.
Oh no, they need to bring back Murmur. There we go.
Murmur.
There we
Wow.
go.
Murmur was
I forgot
great.
about that
Deep
guy.
dive.
Wow.
Wow.
All
Murmur.
right. Twitter questions?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Michael Brown says, to Destin, how do you manage the negative internet narrative of Destiny on such a high profile site like IGN?
I delete Twitter off my phone. I don't read most of the comments, and I just keep making the show that I want to make.
Awesome.
Hot take.
So
CJ filters a lot of the CJ's obsessed with comments still. I've been doing this for 10 years, and sometimes it gets really toxic, and I'm just like, nope, not gonna read it today. Not gonna read it today.
And
When I see it's going that way, I'm just like, sorry, you can't even have a conversation.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
And you're a happier person today for that, right?
Yeah, you are. Like,
Exactly.
Honestly, deleting Twitter off of my phone has been one of the best things for my life that I've done in a long time. I'm less obsessed with social media, less looking at my phone, more.
So you only look at it when you're
moments.
sitting down at a computer?
Correct.
That's interesting. I like that. So you don't have Twitter following you. Like if you're in the bathroom, no Twitter. Or if you're like standing in line, or if you're interacting with your girlfriend, no Twitter. It's you have to be sitting down at a computer to interact. I like that.
Sounds very
it
healthy.
does a lot of things. It allows me to be able to think about my responses to people. If I'm mad about something, I don't have an ability to respond easily. It helps me out a lot. And I'm less mad about dumb stuff.
I could see that.
Like
I think
stuff
most of
that
my
does not matter.
bad
Wait
responses.
till you see the end of these
been on
questions.
his phone.
What was
Maybe
that?
I
Mods?
need to do that.
Were
I
you
think most
saying
of
what?
the responses I've made on Twitter that have been questionable to people have been through my phone, not my computer. You just wake up, you're like, oh, I'm gonna tell you, you suck, sir. God.
I wanted to be a psych major at one point, and I'm really fascinated by internet culture and why people feel the need to be destructive to other
Tell
people.
me to die.
Yeah, like things like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, why? What would compel somebody to do that? Is it to elicit a reaction?
Pretty
Is it to
sure
make
it's a
themselves feel better?
self-reflection of some sort of desire to not have something in their life.
Yeah, I don't think it's easy as like one answer though, because
Right.
like so many people do it to us as creators, and I'm sure Watts gets a lot of terrible shit, unfortunately.
I think some people do it like so
yeah.
casually too. It's like they're like, like you have an opinion they don't agree with, so you're an asshole, and then they move on with their life. They're not thinking about it 2 seconds after they wrote that comment, right?
Mhm.
But it could stick with the person who read it for 2 weeks.
That's probably the majority of it, is that the people who are rigorous in that attitude, like just say bad stuff and move on and don't even think about the effects.
Yeah.
I think it's sorry, Watts, go ahead.
It's very interesting if you look at the person's tweets and replies who has said something like truly awful, and you'll see that they are saying it all day to different people. Just the entire day, they're just telling people that they're awful and they suck and they're ugly and they're gross and they're dumb, just all day. That's all they're doing.
Joe Rogan had the greatest bit in his last stand-up comedy special on Netflix about, like, he read this awful comment sent to him, so he dug deeper and he clicked on the person's like profile and saw that that's all they do. But then he also ran into this thing where she was an active member of a vegan cat organization.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
I don't know. It just reminded me of that.
It's really good. He
Vegan
has,
cats.
he has a new special on Netflix you can watch. It's really funny.
It is really funny because he does that podcast, so he's very much in the same space that we are, but on a probably a larger level. So he talks a lot about this kind of stuff.
I'd be down for deleting Twitter off my phone, but the problem is, like, most of my friends that I talk to, like, I interact with them in DMs on Twitter. So it's like, fuck.
Most you guys reach out to me via Twitter DMs.
Yeah.
So like I see it at 9 a.m. You know.
Yeah.
In our case, it would be like Dado would say, "Hey, do you want to go get dinner?" And then we won't see it till like 20 hours later and be like,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I install it for events. Like I'll put it back on my phone for events for like business reasons, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, important.
I've actually gotten the habit of something similar. I haven't deleted it off my phone, but I definitely have parts of my day where I try to not be social media focused. And then when I get closer to a stream, I'm more social media active or focused or whatever. And I do that also for my sanity, because if I'm on Twitter or any social media outlet constantly checking it, I notice that I deteriorate as a person. And I would not like to deteriorate. I would like to thrive as a person. Good. So I try to have those boundaries. Sometimes I don't stick with those boundaries and I notice it, and other days I'm really good about it.
For me, I don't find I deteriorate, but I lose time to Twitter. Yes. I'll get into Twitter and I'll be like, I'm just going to check my messages, see what's going on, or, whatever. And then all of a sudden it'd be an hour and a half later. I'm like, fuck, I had shit to do.
It's true.
So for me, one actually other passive benefit is I find myself looking less to Twitter for real friendships and looking more to people in my real life. Like Stephen Rue, who's been on the Fireteam Chat show a few times. Like we went and had dinner last night. That's a real life friendship as opposed to like the relationships that you develop on your online persona. And yeah, man, it has had a tremendously positive impact on not only my social media presence, but also on my personal life. So yeah, that's how I handle comments. I don't read them most of the time. I'll check it out sometimes. And yeah, I try and really manage the time that I spend in it.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten really bad the last few years, like more so than it has in the past. And I'm like, this isn't valuable to me. It's a Stephen Rue. Yeah. Somebody in chat said a thing. Sorry.
D Flawless says, question for Briar and Destin. What will you now commiserate about now that vault space isn't really an issue anymore?
Something tells me vault space is still an issue to Briar.
Is it, Brian?
Vault space is still an issue.
There you go.
They never fix the items from this current season, I guess we would call it, being able to be pulled out of your collection. So you still have to hold on to a lot of stuff if you're a collector, like a lot of players are. So I would say that it's not 100% fixed, but they're working on it.
It's going to get worse if they don't fix it, because all the stuff from this season, all the stuff from Black Armory, Season of the Drifter, Season of the Space Ninja Robot, that's all going to just keep building up. So if you're not hitting that 500 now, just give it a minute.
Don't worry. They'll add more vault space in September 2019. It'll be good.
Well, now with the rolls too, you don't know if you got a god roll or not on a piece of gear. So I could totally still complain about vault space.
Especially with armor, because they could change a perk on a piece of armor and then all of a sudden, whoop, it's the best perk in the game. And you're glad you kept that armor piece.
Yeah, I'm now like just looking at enhanced perks, and if I have an enhanced perk, I'll keep it. If not, then I'm just dumping the armor, which makes me sad because I do like to keep stuff. And as a lot of people who know who watch the stream, I typically at 500 in the vault space, but I've got my own end game that I'm chasing right now to get a full page of edge transits, and I'm 2.5 rows deep so far. I'm getting there.
I have 5 parcel of Stardust I haven't had time to look at stat wise.
Yeah. There you go.
Reynolds says, if Thunderlord is so great, then why hasn't Holtz got a butt tattoo?
Agreed.
Right?
Oh, this doesn't
Holtz,
add
can you
up.
get that image that's on that shirt on your butt?
No.
That's
Yes.
That's
the tattoo?
That
it.
would be epic.
It would be epic.
Come on, man. A Grim Reaper on a horse, one-handing the Thunderlord?
Look, that sounds like a big investment for a tattoo. Also, that's a badass tattoo, and my ass is not bad enough for that tattoo.
But it could be. If
It
you have
will
the
once you
tattoo
put it on
on.
like
there.
a shoulder, or like that's an entire
both.
back, honestly.
Oh. Down to your butt. Your butt.
I would be impressed.
I don't know if impressed is the right word. David Cotton says, what 2 enemy species working together would be the most catastrophic to the Vanguard?
Vex. because they do the whole time travel and crazy alien crap. I feel like they're pretty insane.
Yeah.
Who would
Vex
go?
and Hive, maybe?
Taken. Vex and Taken. Think of the replication.
Ooh.
They just
Taken
put a bunch of
replication.
scions in their time machine replicating device, and it's just scions everywhere.
Yep.
That sounds pretty
Guardians.
Okay, Guardians in the Vex?
Guardians in the
Fuck up
versus
the
the
being
Vex.
guard
awful.
pretty
Freaking
bad.
Guardians.
Just Guardians and like a potato at that point, probably.
I think Vex and Hive is pretty interesting.
Yeah, Vex and Hive that sounds awful.
Can the Taken do anything to the robots?
Sure. Can't they take them?
Yeah, they can take them. There are
Alright, I wasn't
taken
sure.
Minotaurs, taken.
You're right.
Are the
you're right.
master
I couldn't
race.
remember.
They're
Yeah.
some of the most annoying mobs. Well, basically all taken are, but the
My favorite mob is the Taken Captain. He's cute.
The one that's always
God.
chucking the blight at you?
You're into bad
Oh,
boys,
oh,
aren't you?
God. Captain's so annoying.
Okay.
He's annoying, but he does more than one. He does a lot of multitude of things,
He's a bit
and
of
I
a spaz.
find that interesting. He's teleporting everywhere. He's
Yeah.
throwing blindy balls. He's shooting you. Yeah, he does a lot of stuff.
Well,
He's great.
Okay,
I stick
annoys
with
me.
Vex and Taken. Teleportation and replication,
That does sound
doubling
terrible.
up repeatedly.
Yeah.
If they
Time
were
travel.
working in tandem, oh my god, they would just
Yeah.
overwhelm the tower. They would just throw their corpses at the wall until they walked up it.
That's true.
The Cabal, I feel like, took their best shot.
That's true. He did
And
pretty good, but
So now that we know Guardians can be killed with Cade's death, so like our ghosts can die and the Guardians can die, right?
oh, we
Like-
knew that from like Rise of Iron.
Yeah, that's true. Like with a big enough force, couldn't any of the evil forces basically win?
like just
So-
nuke us and
they're
kill
just-
us and the ghost at the same
Yeah,
time.
they're just lazy, is what you're saying?
If they communicated like, hey, we took out the ghost, like the Scorner, like, hey, oh yeah, they killed Cade's ghost, like that's their weakness. You think the enemy factions would talk to each other, and
I
that
don't
would
think they
spread
like
around.
each other.
Yeah.
Well, there was only one sniper that could make that shot.
Mhm.
I want his sniper rifle. Can we
I
talk
know,
about
That'd
that?
be nice.
Just wouldn't that be? I want them to bring back the dudes, the barons, make the mission super hard. Give me specific loot from it. One of them should be the sniper. I
Steal
want
their
that.
gun and wear their ass.
That's what I want to do.
Honestly, I wish that's something that Bungie would like take to heart as a design core, is that like enemies that we go up against, they could potentially drop their things that they have so we could have them. Because that's always been something that's really cool about looters, and you don't see it too often in
Yes.
Destiny. It's usually
I
something
want
special,
that
exotic.
so bad.
You saw it from like some strike bosses and stuff like that. In it just feels like the armor. That's an area that they could really specify. We improve in. We talked about it for Nightfalls, and
Yeah.
it would be a great
The
opportunity.
Forsaken would have been a good opportunity for it, though, to grind those Forsaken bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping they
Absolutely.
can just bring them back because it's content that's in the game. They just have to add specific.
No,
loot to it.
they'll go. We'll go ahead into Destiny 3, and they'll bring it back nostalgically.
One at
You
a
know,
time.
I thought of
As long
another
as
one.
I get to wear his armor.
Callus's robot, which has infiltrated the tower, and everybody just seems cool with it.
Yeah,
Could potentially
He's
could
taking up shop
potentially
under stairs.
reprogram Shax's robots,
Mm.
and it could be like execute order.
Ooh,
66,
a little
and they
virus
can start
action.
taking out ghosts.
Mm.
They act all friendly.
Let me polish up that ghost for you, Guardian.
Ghosts need a polish, governor?
Like maybe there's a ghost wash day, and all the ghosts have to be washed, and the
And they
robots just
Kill all the
Kill all
They
guardians.
them.
lose them.
yeah.
Interesting.
Tyler Gang says, what do you think about Sony pulling out of E3? First time in 24 years that they won't be there.
They're going through a lot of stuff right now. So new CEO. They had a terrible showing last year. I was in it. It was awful to see live, and like it was just a disaster. I think watching it though, a lot of people really enjoyed viewing it. I hope they're resetting. What excites me more is that this gives Xbox a chance to reset, and next generation, it's going to be a free for all. Like they're going to both come out of the gate swinging. Now, a lot of people probably like write off Xbox, but they just acquired 2 new studios. They just acquired Obsidian and In Exile, and they have some really, really interesting IPs that could be potentially, or at least ideas from those IPs, like Alpha Protocol, a stealth action RPG. There was Hunters the Reckoning, I believe, which is almost like a God of War sort of style game with 4 different archetypes of heroes that you could play as. But those ideas could be created into something really, really good. And with Microsoft backing those companies, I am super excited about the future of Microsoft. And if they could go toe-to-toe with PlayStation storytelling ability out of the Santa Monica studio, with their new studio, does anybody know the name off the top of your head?
The one that's also in Santa Monica?
That game studio?
No. It's
company.
No. They're creating a branch to tell narrative stories in the same fashion that Santa Monica has been with God of War and the Naughty Dog studio.
Last of Us.
Yeah, it's like the it's not the Coalition. That's Gears. It starts with an I. Anyway, very excited about
it. To me, it just feels like it's a matter of time because like
initiative,
like Microsoft prints money. They're not in the same position as Sony, where Sony has had a lot of problems. Like their PlayStation division obviously is successful, but like
that's holding the company together.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
A lot of the other parts of Sony are struggling, and Microsoft is freaking a giant in comparison. So
you guys don't think that Sony is prepping something like Bethesda did at E3?
Like what?
No, they're not going to E3.
No, they've completely pulled out of E3.
I understand, and so did other companies, and they
so they're going to have. They're just going to do something across the street, like
So they're not. I don't think that means that they're going to do anything. Like that's the way that I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Because they've also. No, I get what you're getting at, Pope. I don't think they're going to do a conference.
Okay.
So that would be really interesting if they didn't do a conference.
It seems like a lot of companies are taking this trend of like moving away from the E3s and having their own in-house thing, like with Blizzard having BlizzCon for several years now, and like it seems like Sony wants to do that. I mean, they did that the PSX experience, like that's been growing, right?
Well, it's such a different
they
age
canceled PSX
now.
Also.
Oh, they did.
Than it used to be. Yeah, they did cancel PSX.
I didn't realize
that. Like now it's like you make an announcement and there's 1,000 YouTubers that spread the word for you, and there's 1,000 blog posts, and there's 1,000 there's like you don't have to be in front of the magazine press like you had to be in the 90s, right? Like if you wanted to get your message out of there, like that's where you went, because that's where the magazines were going to be, and that was the big event for the year, and that's where all the people who bought the games to sell like at GameStop or Walmart, like that's where all those people were. And it's just a different world now. Now you sell them directly to your customers using some online portal over another. You got, the press has changed dramatically since like E3 became a thing. It's just a different world. But I do fear for PlayStation. The Xbox is a strong brand, and they got the better hardware. They got Game Pass, which I think is a really interesting thing. They've got games that you can play whether you're on Xbox or PC. The one thing that they're missing, like Destin said, is like those really strong exclusives.
I'm really excited. I was really excited.
And Gears.
That's true. They used to have huge titles, and even COD had that 1 month exclusivity, which made it the competitive console. So people kind of went towards Xbox to play that.
And now Activision and Sony are best buds.
Yeah.
I was excited when I heard they've got the studio that made Hellblade, because Hellblade was such an amazing game. And I'm really excited to see what they do, because the way that they created that game was so unique and such a unique experience. So I'm really excited to see what else they do, and I'll definitely be picking it up if it's on Xbox.
Yeah. It's nice to know that it's moving forward. Is
like you can play Microsoft games whether you have a PC or an Xbox. Like
it's very true.
Yeah.
As soon as they do that,
Microsoft wins out of the way.
True.
As soon as they do that, PlayStation's going to announce cross-save.
Cool.
That's what's going to allow them to do that. That's what's going to force them to do that. So in a way, I like the competition, and I like to see innovation and change. I think
every generation, the leader in the industry is been somebody different, whether it's Nintendo or Sony with the PlayStation 2 or Microsoft with Xbox 360. Sony not putting that stuff into games, gamers are going to remember that when it comes time to buy another, console in 2020, whenever they come out, right? I'm looking at the PlayStation 5, I'm looking at the Xbox 2, whatever it's called, and I'm thinking, well, if I buy an Xbox, I could play Fortnite 2 with all my friends, no matter what console they're on. If I buy a PlayStation, I'm going to be locked into PlayStation again. People are going to remember that.
They're going to loosen that up.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes that stuff sticks. Like even after they've changed it, like the Microsoft press conference from 2013, when Sony came out and was making fun of them for how to share games, right?
Yeah.
Like that stuff sticks even after you've changed your policy on it. Like people just remember that.
Look at what Destiny's going through. Same thing.
Yeah.
Destiny's a good example.
They got an uphill battle to win back the people that feel burned. I hope what they're doing, as you look for the next question, I hope what they're doing is that they're setting up for their PS5 reveal in a few years and just getting a killer library to launch that console. God of War is my game of the year.
Yeah.
Followed by potentially Red Dead Redemption. I don't want to see Sony fail. Competition is good. Competition breeds creative new IPs, creative projects, and we all win when that's happening.
100%. Yep.
Dustin, do you have any kind of has there been buzz about when the new consoles are going to come out? Has there been?
There's people are saying 2020, but that's just a rumor. Like there's no good source on that or anything, but that's just what I've seen on Twitter and such. I'm really particular about making sure sources are vetted, but
yeah,
I haven't heard anything personally.
I lost my place. Sparty for you says with Black Armory, there will presumably be a power level increase. What would you like to be the soft cap, hard cap, and raid levels be?
I think 700 would be a good start. No, I don't know. What are we at right now? It's 600, right?
600.
Mm-hmm. I don't think the numbers actually matter. It just matters how Bungie chooses to tune how fast you get to those numbers, right? It's like it could be a 20-point increase, but if it takes 40 hours to get each one of those points, like it's going to be a really hardcore grind. If it takes 1 hour to get each one of those points, then it's going to be easy, right? It doesn't really matter the number. It matters how Bungie tunes that ramp.
It's very true.
I think
it's also
8,
how they tune how you get
8,000. I want to be power level 9,000 before Destiny 3
Maybe it's
comes
unlimited.
out.
Maybe there's an unlimited level. They just lift
Paragon.
it. You just keep on going.
I would like that actually.
Keep on specking into more and more points.
Fallout 3 made that mistake where you could hit a level cap and then there was no way to further advance, and they said that was a mistake. And they also made the game where it just ended and you couldn't continue leveling. I wonder if Destiny would benefit from not having a cap. Like how could they make that work? It wouldn't be for Destiny 2. They're still in the old leveling model. This would be like forward thinking.
So in Destiny 3, I could see something like that. If they had a lot more diverse RPG system in the sandbox, again, wasn't so heavily focused on pure damage. Like they really could take something like the Diablo 3 Paragon route, where once you've unlocked those skills, you then start incrementally growing as you put time and stuff into yours.
The levels in Destiny seem so arbitrary too. You got to level up your light level now, and then you have a power level. And in D1, it was sort of the same thing. You had a level, and then you have a power level. It's just like they haven't figured out what they want to do with that yet. So they haven't evolved that system.
I want them to get rid of the levels and just do pure light level.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Or power level, whatever people call it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have the 600 one. I just want that.
Yeah, what's it going to be called in D3?
Better.
Metallic level in D3.
I would love light level. I think light level sounds better. It makes more sense.
I like light level.
Light level is better, definitely.
More personal to Destiny 2.
It is.
Yeah.
Power level makes more sense. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Augusta Slice says, do you think the galley will be a guaranteed pre-order bonus for Destiny 3?
No. Nope.
Who's to say Galley's not coming in the next 6 months? All right.
It's definitely coming.
Black Armory. They did the whole Back in Black marketing campaign for
There you go.
the pre-order bonus.
We're
of
gonna have the Black
Gallahorn
Galley.
and
What if we, instead of Rise Iron, we get Rise of Gallahorn in September?
You know what I hate more than anything? That I could see some of these things coming to fruition. The pre-orders for Galley. I'm like, oh no. They can
Yeah.
actually do that.
I don't want to be playing with the same fucking guns I have played with for the
right?
last 4 years. I especially don't want them to be the best guns, so I'm almost forced to play with them.
Yeah.
Honestly, Briar, that's why I'm really excited about Black Armory, because it's so heavily focused on weapons, like these weapons of the Golden Age, these mysterious things from this armory that was crazy. So I'm really hoping they knock it out the park with just some really weird and crazy
New stuff,
powerful,
Yes.
new stuff.
That new.
New.
I have a question for everybody on the show. Looking forward to Destiny 3. What do? Do they just let your weapons carry over? Do they nuke the weapon supply and just create brand new stuff, and all the old stuff is just left by the wayside? Because they are special, right? They have a special place in our memory, and we had a good time with it. They have fantastic lore. What do they do going forward?
I didn't like this in D2 when we effectively hit the reset button, because I have invested time into this character, and if the only thing that carries over is just that appearance, which apparently didn't mean anything because I swapped over to PC, doing that continually to the player base, I feel like that doesn't put good faith into
lowers the stakes. Right?
Yeah. It's like, well, why should I bother trying to go for all this stuff in the game? Why?
They're just going to take it away from me in a year.
And then
they took that chance with D2. We saw what happened. Like so now if the tower gets blown up, I'm like, oh, that's their storyline narrative to take away all our stuff again.
I honestly feel like they're going to do that again.
Scions. Vex taking Scions. They're coming in and stealing all our weapons.
I wonder if they'll have to do it again because of how they've fractured the player base by launching PC.
I think they're going to have to do it again in order to make a sandbox that's going to be a lot different in an RPG sense.
See, that's what I'm looking to, is if they are going down this road of making it almost a completely different game and being more RPG based, then I think they kind of have to get rid of everything and start again.
Yeah. Because I personally would like to keep my stuff, but I don't want the sandbox to be just slightly different. I want it to be a really interesting new sandbox, and I think that's going to require a real reshape of all the inventory in the game. Personally,
I say Scorched Earth.
Just blast it all.
Yeah.
And all we get to keep is Telesto.
One coveted golden Telesto rises from the ashes.
Can you imagine if they did do that, where you had to choose one gun that your guardian happened to be carrying when like Earth blew up, so you did get to bring one gun?
Edge
how
transit.
hard that decision would make.
That would actually be a really cool thing. I know that's really hard because then they have to make every single weapon in the new game, and maybe some people don't pick that. But that would be really cool because then that gun really means something to you going into the next game. That would be very interesting.
What if the next game? Sorry, Holtz, go ahead.
Yeah, now that you think about that, why the hell did my Guardian go off to do whatever the hell he was doing at the start of D2 to go only with a sidearm?
He had a premonition. He was like, I'm not going to need this.
I'm not going to need
I don't need
this.
this Gallahorn.
I didn't go anywhere without my icebreaker.
It blew up. It got volatile.
That perk finally kicked in. You tried to shoot it, got to blew up.
Yeah. It misfired and boom, whole gun blew up. I was going to say also, Briar, you brought up the point, like what it does to the community or to the population, I should say, about collecting stuff. And I am personally feeling that right now. Like I am less interested in making sure I have everything because I just know they're going to get rid of a bunch of stuff later on. And then it's not going to matter. And I'm like, all right, well, if I went and got the Luna's Howl as a collector, if I knew it was going to stay, if I knew it was going to continue with me throughout like the lifespan of the franchise, then I would have way more interest in making sure I have everything. But knowing that there's a reset button like looming over the horizon, I'm kind of like, well, it's okay, whatever. And honestly, it's healthier personally that I have this feeling now.
Maybe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I totally agree with that. And unfortunately, when I realized that, it took something away from what was special about Destiny, because I'm just like, oh, like there's gonna, like, who cares how much I get in Destiny 2, because all this will be meaningless by the time Destiny 3 comes out.
Yeah.
Why should I bother spending money on these Eververse things?
Because
when they're
I
all
need the
gonna
cat
fucking
ghost,
go away?
Patrick.
Yeah,
I need the cat
right?
ghost now until D3 comes out. It says meow when you pull it out, and when it's down. Meow. Meow. I need that.
Sebastian says Gambit is classified as competitive co-op when you select it. Should the playlist come with a ranking system like other competitive game modes to reflect its nature? Maybe
It
have
does.
the matchmaking adjust to that as well?
It
does.
does.
Next question.
Or does
Next
it?
question coming.
Because a lot of people,
No, it does literally to all of that. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are saying that they're going up against new players as 5500s.
Oh, so in comp, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way the matchmaking works is, this was all detailed in some stuff a while back, but it is going to look for a proper match for you. If it cannot find one within a certain amount of time, it will expand the quality of player to be both above and below you. If you're at 5500, it's only going one direction. So
Right.
eventually, if those 4 stacks, because if you're at 5500, you are queuing as a 4 stack. You're not queuing solo at that bracket. You are going
But
to
why not?
eventually, huh?
But why not?
Because you can't. You cannot at 5500. If your expectation is to win, you cannot do that solo.
What if you
Because-
get good?
You can be as good. You can be as good of a player as you can possibly be. There will be 4 equally as good people also communicating with each other on the
Or
other
you
team.
could get gooder.
Whoa.
Then by extension, those other people will be gooder as well. So
How about you just don't take damage?
that works too. Yeah, just don't get hit.
What if we tried killing them before they kill us?
just don't miss your shots? Yeah, that works.
I'm sure the answer is no, but did anybody in this group not like Gambit that much?
For a period of time.
I really liked it, but after 100 games, I'm like, I get it. I've got it down really well. I've lost a few. I've won a few. They've been close. But there's no, I don't know. There's nothing else to do. I get the whole mode.
Yeah.
What if there's a
evolution
pinnacle
to it.
Gambit weapon? Do you want to play it more?
Yeah, I would
That's-
hop in for the pinnacle Gambit weapon.
But
But when
that's
I
the thing
get
is,
it,
I'll go for pursuits. The problem was for me, I burnt myself out on it doing Gambit when I was trying to get power, get to 600.
Yeah. Me
I
too.
played Gambit on all 3 of my characters for all of the powerful rewards. Every single possible powerful source that you could get from Gambit, I did.
You also played it for 15 hours trying to get the malfeasance.
Yes, I did that too, and then for an additional 10 hours after that. So in the first 5 weeks, I played a fuck ton of Gambit, and I got burnt out on it. I still like the game mode. It's just trying to get me to go back in. It's
I do have Queen Breaker, which makes it very fun.
Oh yeah,
That'll do it. That
Mhm.
makes you.
I would definitely go play Gambit if I had Queen Breaker too.
It's amazing.
Gambit is great. It doesn't have that special sauce that Trials D1 had. And
No.
nothing has that special sauce that Trials D1 had.
Yeah.
No.
And I really like special sauce.
Trials was
And I want
so
it back.
original.
Trials was such a huge deal for Destiny.
Yeah.
When I played it at Bungie and we were doing our preview article, I said, I think I wanted to say something like, this is going to change the face of PvP. And I could bring up my article. I don't remember what I said exactly, but it's
so
like
good.
one of the best modes I've ever played. And D2 Trials missed the mark.
I think Bungie doesn't know what made Trials special. I think it'd actually be really helpful for Bungie if people contacted them in a constructive way and explained what made it special to them. Was it the fact that it was kind of a mini tournament that you could do in, an hour? Was it the weapons? Was it the armor that you could get? Was it the lighthouse? What was it that made Trials specifically feel so exciting to watch and play and made it special? Was it the game mode?
The game mode was part of it.
The game mode was definitely part of it. The game mode made it exciting because you had that thing that came up, and if you were one player against 3 other players, you actually had a chance during that cap zone moment to do something crazy.
Yeah,
I found
it was very
Trials of
watchable.
Osiris redefines PvP, is what I said.
It was so good.
Yeah, the thing that happened at that time was there had never been a looter shooter, first person looter shooter that had a mode that felt competitive like that had rare rewards that were associated with accomplishing like essentially the wins. I think all those combined made it for a very exciting game mode to like play and watch. And when D2 came out, it was like they took away half of that. Essentially, it felt like half of it was gone. They changed the game mode completely.
They took away Trials at the worst possible time they could have taken away Trials from D1, because that's when the Battle Royale genre was just getting started and everybody was trying out this new game mode, and they had something really, really slick, really, really cool, and they just shut it off. They just pulled the plug on it. And they're like, you got to wait a few months. And in those few months, we're all playing PUBG. We're all playing Fortnite. Now, Fortnite's this gargantuan monster. PUBG's still around, but it's not what it was in its heyday. And Trials never came back in the way that we loved it. It's still good. I'm not saying it's a terrible game mode or anything like that, but it's not that D1 Trials.
So if you're Bungie, and say Bungie has comp now, comp wasn't even a thing in D1. And we'll say if they're feeling confused about how does Trials fit into this ecosystem now that we have quick play, and we have comp, and we have this pinnacle weapon, how do we fit Trials into the current ecosystem that makes it feel special and exciting?
You make a new ecosystem, to be honest. Like you got to make it 3v3 again. 4 is just too many, I think. It was just it was perfect.
It was
as close to perfect as it ever. Like, okay, there were sticky grenade problems, and what was the other one? Shoulder charge.
There was sandbox problems, but I think as a mode and as a reward and all that, I think they got it really good.
And getting to go to this special place that you can only go to.
It was a huge part of it.
Completed the entirety of the card. It had mystery. People wanted to be part of that conversation and check out those rewards every week.
Exactly. Like that.
The gameplay was
original
high octane.
Trials,
There's
man.
prestige involved in getting there and wearing that armor around.
Badge of honor if you made it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think Trials totally has a place. Like, even if we just have comp and quick play, I think it totally has a place because it's not comp at all. Comp is a like potential month-long grind to get this thing at the end. Trials was this very short, you could kind of feel like you're in a tournament type situation, and you go up against other players and you get something at the end of an hour. It's not a month-long thing. That
nails it for me, Watts. It felt like I was playing in like a competitive PvP tournament for an hour or two. Like it really, it made me feel like I was a competitive player for an hour. It was amazing.
I think it can totally fit even into the current ecosystem. Make the armor unique, make it cool, add lore to it so we find out more about either the 9 or the Trials of Osiris, whatever you want to do. But add lore to it, make it interesting to go there, make the weapons and armor look different and exciting. Bring back 3v3. I just say bring back 3v3 elimination. I think elimination was fun. Having 3v3 would also fit it into a place of you have 6v6, you have 4v4, and you have 3v3. So you're getting a slightly different experience.
You know what else they should do?
4v4. Why the hell didn't they bring back a limb?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Baffling.
I don't know.
Totally baffling.
It was such a good mode.
Yeah.
They should also
the new modes just aren't as much fun.
If it was in 3v3, they should have each character come up on the screen one by one and have a full breakdown of their entire Destiny career and everything they've done, every single challenge they've accomplished.
Every emote they've ever bought.
Every emote that they've bought, all the purchases right there, and just slowly go through each one.
How much money I've spent on Everest.
So you have at least 5 minutes in between by the time you load up the match and actually play it. I think that'd really get you into the mood, don't you think?
Yeah, that would definitely do it.
Yeah.
It needs to have its own unique mode. It can't be comp, but slightly different.
No, elimination. Bring back elimination.
Its own unique mode. Have it. You could even have it be. Some people in chat were saying have it be around for a week, but only happen once a month. So it's like this kind of special tournament that comes to town where you can get some really cool loot. I think there's a place for it. I want.
Well, that's what Iron Banner is, right?
It is. Yeah. It's just not exciting. It's not a tournament.
But Iron Banner just feels like regular PvP.
Because it is regular PvP. It's just got skill-based matchmaking.
Regular PvP with skill-based matchmaking. It's great.
Trials would be its own unique mode in a tournament.
Iron Banner is really close to being great, but now I sign on. I'm like, oh, I have all the armor. All right, bye. I got everything so fast.
But have you completed every single bounty on every single character in one event?
Why?
Because there's a triumph for that.
Well,
I don't want to put
I don't
myself
care.
through that.
I honestly, the triumph system, I don't care that much. I appreciate that they did that for really hardcore players, but I'm just like, so what? I got to fill in a circle in my book.
Yeah, you get to have the satisfaction of creating what it would be 50. It's like 150 orbs over Iron Banner on 3 separate characters. Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, and it doesn't count masterwork weapons, so it's literally you have to do them with your super.
Wow.
What if there was a title of Iron Lord if you did it all?
Okay, yeah, I'd do it.
What?
I already been an Iron Lord. You
But
gonna
now
take
you
that away
get
from
the
me?
title on your name, Briar. So then when Lord Saladin sees you next time, he'll know.
I was already an Iron Lord. Lord Saladin doesn't say shit about it. He doesn't even know my name.
He forgot, man.
You need the title.
How do you forget that? It was only a year ago. That's why they're always doing this nostalgia shit, because they forget.
Wait, what if you could pay like $100 and get a paperweight?
When's the Anthem come out?
Hey, speaking of Anthem, there was gameplay shown, right? New stuff.
Customization, yeah. The customization is disgustingly robust. It is really, really intriguing. They let you customize so much in that game. They have color maps and texture maps, and
Really?
you can basically make N7 armor if you want.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's going to be microtransactions for this stuff, right? Have they already talked about that? Or is it?
They said they weren't talking about it on today's stream, but dang.
Yeah.
There will definitely be microtransactions. But when you can literally just paint your armor to be whatever the hell you want,
That's really cool.
why?
That
why
is
buy
exciting.
anything?
Yeah. That's it. You know, one thing that Warframe does with microtransactions that I personally really like is that they have community submissions, and the people who do get selected, it becomes a part of the game, and they actually get a cut. So when like people buy a skin for a Warframe,
I didn't know they did that. That's awesome.
yeah, the
That's
creator
super cool.
gets a cut of that as well, and I think that's I think that's awesome. Like,
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
Doesn't Steam do that also?
Steam gets a but like this will go across with the consoles and everything. Like they share revenue with people who I believe
That's really
I believe
cool.
it's with the console stuff too, because it becomes
That's
part of the
cool.
game and they can buy it with the platinum.
Does
Yeah, that's
Bethesda do that too with their creator club?
They got in a little bit of heat. I don't remember why exactly, but they do.
They were trying to sell stuff on the internet. The nerve.
They were trying to sell stuff that other
Jesus.
people had.
Did they try to make a
made
profit?
free.
Unbelievable.
That's what it was.
That they had made, but they weren't sharing it with the creator.
They still. I don't remember what it was. It was something like that though.
The Elusive says, have any of you ever played with someone or seen someone in the game
No.
world with a gamer tag,
No.
or they did something that
Never.
just made you bust out laughing? For me, it was a dude with the name Chuck Norris MD. I laughed my ass off when I saw it. You guys ever seen a name or seen somebody do something in game that just made you laugh?
I laugh at
Like
names all
randomly?
the time. I mean, we were playing with Richard
Yeah.
Nixon the other day in the strike. It was like, Richard Nixon's down, guys. No way.
So a Hobbit Weed 420. I laughed for about a year about that one.
Nice.
That's really great. It's even better on PC because people have some more interesting names there. Seems to
Yeah.
be a little bit more freedom in what you
Yeah.
can do.
Too much, maybe.
Maybe it's COD Emblem Creator all over again. It's just penises.
Remember in Destiny 1 when we first went to the reef, there was that area that you could jump off of, like the platform in the reef and land under the reef, but and you'd be safe.
Yes.
But it's just a speck that you had to nail with that jump. I remember just watching people just do it over and over and over again, just dying and dying. That used to make me laugh. I used to like try to push people off of that too. Like you could push people off of the front of the reef with the ball. That was
Oh,
fun.
nice.
You could push NPCs off. It was great.
I'm sure I've seen some funny names, but I can't think of anything in particular.
There was I don't know why this story sticks with me, but like back in D1, early D1, I read this Reddit post about Space Jesus, and the gamer tag was Space Jesus, and like the team was looking for a sixth person to join Vault of Glass, and Space Jesus responded, but Space Jesus had no microphone, but ended up being the best player and like clutched the end of an Atheon kill, and was like,
Oh wow. Damn.
it was like Space Jesus came and then left.
He's Space Jesus. Wow.
Space Jesus walked off into the sunset.
Yeah, and that like post like still sticks with me to this day, thinking about that. Space Jesus.
Chris Cantillano says, I have one question with the rest of DCP completing their promises for the charity stream, and Pope and Holtz he actually misspells Holtz. I don't actually think he knows how to spell your name. Not completing their promises, will it affect future charity streams if the community knows that DCP isn't completing what they promised?
It's a
Good
serious
question.
Yes.
That's heavy, man.
Yeah.
I might as
Glad
well
I don't
burn
have to
that
answer
Twitter
it.
account.
No answer, guys? You're just going to take silence
Get
here?
the fucking tattoo. Jesus Christ.
Are you though?
Yes.
Are you growing your hair out for a mullet?
Oh my god. I could just
Just
leave
get a
this call
wig,
right now and it would
Patrick.
fuck up the entire like stream.
But you'd also solidify that question.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. We know where the weak link is here.
There are
Hey.
2 butt tattoos. Oh.
Yeah, Pope.
There's 2 butts.
I've been ready and willing.
Dan is Alive says, if you went to Neverland right now, would you side with the Lost Boys or the Pirates?
Oh, I thought we were talking about Michael Jackson right now.
Yeah, me too.
Pirates.
I mean, the Lost Boys could fly.
Yeah, I'm a fly.
Only Peter Pan.
Why
can fly
would you
the Lost
side with
Boys.
the pirates? The Lost Boys
Why-
get all the food they can imagine, like the Lost Boys, of course.
Have you read the original Peter Pan novel?
No,
We're going with the
not really.
Disney version.
This is bullshit.
Disney.
No. We
Can you
go.
give us
we-
a brief history on why you would not choose the Lost Boys? Pat?
The Lost Boy, basically Peter Pan didn't understand that people grew up and like people needed to eat and all the stuff. He was basically trapped in like a child's mind inside his head. So like the Lost Boys were basically horribly abused by Peter Pan, and most of the pirates ended up being Lost Boys that were able to actually escape Peter Pan. And like the story is really fucking dark. And
Why
you
did
want to
Disney
be the
make
pirates in that
movie?
universe.
What were they thinking?
See, there's a lot of stories like that from Disney that were pretty dark that then come forward and like
Cinderella.
have
Got
the,
Disneyfied?
yeah, get Disneyfied. And I'm gonna go with the Disneyfied version because it Disney, you know?
Yeah,
You
I
got
want
to
to
hang out
fly
with
with the
Robin
Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Fuck Holtz's version of this awful story.
Yeah, we're not getting rooted in the real world here. Come on. We're going to
Evan Meyer says, and the most important question of the year is, what's your game of the year?
God of War.
That might be mine too. Red Dead is really good, but I think I like God of War better for it.
Red Dead gets best story for me.
Ooh.
God of War is probably that's
that-
like who's finished Red Dead though?
I haven't
Is everybody?
completely
I
finished
finished.
it.
There's some
Hopefully soon.
If
Some
Red Dead
stuff goes
controlled
down.
well or decent, it'd probably be higher for
That's
me.
your reason why it's not game of year?
The controls in that game are awful.
God of War definitely controlled better. 100%. No doubt about it.
it's fantastic. control.
Every game controls better.
Gameplay God of War, story might slightly be Red Dead, but the game for me is God of War.
Huh. What
What if I said Monster Hunter World?
I get that.
Because if I think about the hours that I put into that game and how in love I was with the gameplay loop of just killing monsters and making armor and weapons, and that game just it captured the grindy RPG player in me, and I loved everything about it.
Yeah, that was a game that, I mean, Watts, you heard me complain about it. I was like, I don't like this game. I just genuinely don't like this game. And then like a week later, I'm like, I can't stop playing this game. Help! I'm having entirely too much fun. It was a very difficult game to get through because it did not tell you anything about the underlying systems, and the story was absolutely awful. Like I have no idea what happened. All I know is that we
I didn't
researched
care
monsters.
at any point what happened in that
Yeah,
story.
like, we need you to go research these monsters, and then I am just like hacking off bits of them, and like, is this what we do to research? We just kill everything? All right.
America.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a
I
commentary
love
on
that
the westernization of cultures and how we must destroy everything to properly understand it.
If I was making a top 10 list, I'd fight strong for Assassin's Creed Odyssey to be in like in a top 3 or top 5 too. I really like that
Odyssey
game.
was really good.
That's a good one for top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I finished that.
Oops.
Also before Red
So
Dead.
quiet. Got that serious look in his eyes.
Who, me?
Yeah. It's your good
Yeah,
dude.
I'm just enjoying the conversations. I get the time that I get to play Destiny. I really enjoyed Black Ops, and haven't really had much time to play anything else. So
Black Ops is really good this year.
For me, I really am enjoying the open world. Like I don't like battle royales, and for me, dropping in and playing Black Ops. If I had more time, I would play the crap out of Red Dead. That looks right up my alley. I would just destroy that game, but I just know that I won't have the time to play it and to really enjoy it. So I enjoy watching it stream.
One of your like 2-week breaks though, maybe over the summer.
You're
know,
being
when
a
you got a
good
little more
father and family member.
Pope
You
makes
could
all
just play
sorts
the
of bad
main
decisions.
story and try and forget the side.
I
stuff.
enjoy watching people stream the games that I like, that I would like to play, knowing that I don't have the time to play them. When I get a chance during the summer, the 2 games that I am definitely going to play are going to be Red Dead, and I want to go back and I'd love to try Assassin's Creed, but I don't have the time to do a Red Dead and an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of time.
Especially
So,
if you
do
get
Red
hooked.
Dead, get through chapter 2, and
Yeah.
if it's not for you,
I want to admit this. I want to go
That's true.
back and I want to actually play through the whole thing of God of War. I didn't get a chance to finish all of it. I played about half of it. It was really good. I enjoyed it, and I'd love to go back and I was playing it at Patrick's house.
Yeah, you
and the
bought
save-
it and like
the
played.
save
Yeah.
didn't transfer over,
Mm.
and then I just
Oh,
said,
brutal.
and then I said screw it, and I didn't
Oh.
play it after that.
What do you mean you played half of it? Then you played like an hour of it here.
yeah, it's like half.
It's like half.
It's like half
He's
of the
fucking
prologue.
good, man.
He's really good,
That's what
man.
happens.
Yeah.
Pope is ascended to
surprised-
get good.
He played it on the hardest setting. Got through half of it in an hour.
As a dad, I'm surprised you didn't connect more with God of War.
Oh, he
and just
connected with it.
know like
No,
that.
I liked it. I really liked
Yeah.
it. I would play the crap out of it. But if I took a look at what Watt said, how much time I've spent of my time that I get to play video games, which is extremely valuable to me. Like, it's very limited. Destiny would have to be my game. Like, I sink
Forsaken.
all of my time Forsaken into that game, and it keeps me going back. I have a chance. I still haven't played the expansion of what was the monsters you could shoot and tie them to the ground, and
In Destiny?
no, it was a female lead. You know, what was the
Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn?
Oh,
Horizon?
Oh, dude.
I still haven't.
I
still
couldn't
haven't
remember the
finished-
name of that game. Like,
I couldn't finish I haven't finished the expansion of that. I'd really want to go back and play that. I've bought more games and haven't played and finished any of them.
A pile of shame.
Listen,
You
are not required to finish any game that you start. Like, you could
Wait,
play.
what?
Listen, you can play as much as you want, and then when you feel like you got to move on, do some other stuff. I think that's perfectly fine. Like,
Have you ever
Unless
had
that game is The Witcher
experience?
3.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's
finishing
okay, guys.
games? Are you serious?
You're not like
Every week I get 3 new games that I'm supposed to do capture for. I have played a ton of games and not finished them. Like, hey, we got Civ on the Switch. Can you get games? Yeah, sure.
for the
like,
record.
just games I'm not into, games I'm really into. Like right now, I want to play Fallout 76. Don't have time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to check
I've been
that
trying
out
for
too.
3 days and I still haven't had another moment.
For the record, I just want to point out that I have finished quite a few games on stream. All right. Some I haven't, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. All right.
If you're not feeling it anymore and you want to move on, or something happens in Destiny and you're like really invested in it, it's okay.
Maybe at the time it was wrong.
I finished God of War, Far Cry 5.
That's another one I wanted to
play. And Red Dead this year. Far Cry 5 is your popcorn game, man.
And I wanted to play. I wanted to play the Nathan Drake series. I really wanted to play the new one.
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Man, there is so many games. If I had, like, it's good times, man. Though, but like, to be honest with you, like there is no game that grabs me like Destiny. And if you think about it, I get 6 to 10 hours a week to play. And when I sit down at my console, I can play anything I want, right? I choose to play that. That says a lot to me.
I think that's like, it's comfort. Part of it's comfort, right? You know the game, you know you can hop in and get that little.
You don't have to learn any mechanics or.
You don't. One of the designers described it to me as like, it's like a snack. You can hop in, you can do a strike, you can do a thing, and you can feel like you've made progress, right? So you get that little snack of progress.
Yeah, that's how Call of Duty used to feel for me.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you.
You play like one match, you get some COD points, maybe you unlock like a sight or a grip for your gun, and.
I'm enjoying the hell out of Blackout. I don't know. People have given it crap, and I don't understand. I mean, I won my first. I won the second game I played. I won it, and I spoiled the crap out of myself because the next like 15, I didn't even like land and find a gun. And then
it's a good game mode. It's fun.
And then I won another one, and it was this epic moment. And I don't know. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the hell out of it.
That game,
their regular multiplayer is good too.
So we're doing Game of the Year conversations at IGN right now. I actually found my list of the games that I like say should be considered. Far Cry 5, God of War, Kingdom Come Deliverance, way earlier in the year.
Really?
Redemption 2, Monster Hunter World, Octopath Traveler on the Switch. Yeah. No Man's Sky, Forza Horizon 4, Destiny 2, Forsaken, Soul Calibur 6 for a fighting game. And I almost said Battlefield 5, but then it came out.
Kingdom Come Deliverance. Didn't that game basically ship broken?
That was made by a really, really small independent studio. And for me, I like rooting for the little guy. And that fact that they committed to a vision and launched that product in the state that it was in. And a lot of people really, really liked what they were able to do there.
Yeah.
And,
has it been pretty much all fixed
There's some
up?
controversy with it, but they're continuing to support it. It's sort of like what they did with No Man's Sky, you know, like the studio is going to continue to support that product. No Man's Sky has had a transformative year.
It's almost like Destiny.
It's so different. It's a completely different game almost.
There's still bugs and stuff like that, but
it's multiplayer.
It's multiplayer now, and it's third person. And weirdly, switching to third person really adds a lot. They had a huge graphic overhaul. They've been continually supporting it quietly in the background while everybody else is being laughing at them and making up memes and just kind of pooping all over Hello Games.
It seems a lot like another game in studio.
And they're both up for best ongoing game.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
For the Game Awards, they are. Yeah.
What did you think of Dead Cells? That got a proper release this year.
I didn't play it. There was a ton of controversy at IGN because of the plagiarism, and I was like out when all that went down. I was like on a business trip and somewhere else. So I come back and I'm like, oh, everything's on fire. Okay. So I just never played it. I wasn't involved with Capture or anything.
That's too bad. It's honestly one of my favorite indie games of all time. Like that game.
It's so good.
Yeah. From the art.
It is amazing.
The music.
It's up for
the gameplay. Yeah. Like for Rogue-vania, Metroid Rogue type of stuff, like it's an incredible game. I can't wait to see what else they do with it personally.
It sucks for me to see that the enjoyment of that game will forever be tarnished at IGN because of the controversy surrounding it. And
that's too bad. Yeah.
That makes me more mad.
Is that the game that dude wrote about?
Yeah. So a lot of people still love it and it's still up for consideration, but for me, my memory, not having played it, will be that it's the game that caused all that crap. And yeah,
No, it's the jackass who plagiarized.
you're accurate.
That caused
yeah.
all that crap. The game, unfortunately, was the collateral of that, right?
I appreciate you correcting me.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not.
I know that's
Dead
what
Cell's
you-
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They're,
too bad that
they're-
they got that because that game has been crafted
It's really good.
with a lot of love. Yeah,
Mhm.
and you can
The
tell.
game was amazing.
It's just for me personally. Everybody else in the office is still voting for it and think it's fantastic. So
Mhm.
Nice.
Dreadnought says, "Hey DCP, my finals are coming in a few weeks. Any advice on how to cheat on a test? Or better
Yes.
yet, have you ever cheated on a test? If
Yeah.
so, how?"
Yeah.
No.
Hope you want to answer this one first?
Yeah.
Sure. I can definitely get into this. Take the L. If you need to cheat,
bad advice from
Take
Pope
the
That
once
is
again.
not how you
the
cheat.
reality of the situation is if that's how you are going to get ahead, then you're going to end up plagiarizing articles and taking that and putting a black eye on a company that otherwise has hardworking people.
Or
Or
You could
you
cheat your way through college
life. Yeah.
and become the president like George Bush.
no. There are legitimate great ways to do this. All right. So you got to scout out the room that you're taking the test first.
Do you guys see
surveillance?
Do you guys see Trump studying for tests? I don't see it, guys. Like it just doesn't. In my mind, I can't see him sitting down and really like buckling
not-
down, studying for a test.
Brian,
That
we're not
dude's
going to get
president.
into
He
politics.
cheated his way through.
I want to hear Holtz's blow by blow how he prepares for
Okay,
a
blow by blow.
test cheat. All right.
Okay, so you got multiple options. First of all, have I ever cheated on a test? Yes, I cheated on my AP statistics test, like the actual AP version of the test.
You're gonna
yeah.
admit that publicly?
What the fuck are they gonna do? I already got my degree.
It's the
bitches.
internet, man.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, they're taking that right back.
Okay, fucking take it. I don't give a
You've
shit.
broken
Breaking
the honor
news,
code.
A student who was caught cheating years after the fact had a
15
diploma.
years ago, this kid cheated on a test. Yeah, no, the guy that was sitting next to me was like really intelligent, and like I knew he was going to pass the test. And they told us beforehand, hey, all the tests are randomized, so you can't look. And then of course that's going to make me be really inquisitive to see, hey, are they actually randomized? Oh, they weren't. And then I got a higher score than him, even though I copied him directly. I don't know how that works. It's like one of the fill in the bubbles things.
RNG. You forgot about that.
Yeah, I guess.
I got to write up an IGN article really quick. 1 second. Kramer outs himself as Matthew.
I have told that story many, many times. All right.
Thanks for that.
I can tell you that practice how you play.
Yeah,
And if you
I
can't- if
practiced
you
for that
can't-
test, and I knew I was fucked, and I still tried to answer it. I still tried to answer those questions, and then I realized I had an out in that test, and I played to my outs, and that's what video games have taught me.
Live life with integrity
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
every aspect.
Mhm. I
Even
thanked
when
him.
somebody
I
isn't looking.
thanked him afterwards, like, dude,
So
thank
he-
you
he
for
did say thank
for
you.
being alphabetically
Ultimately-
right after me. And,
Ultimately,
Mhm.
And he has
It
come
is
clean.
who has to look in the mirror every
Yeah.
single day,
I bought him.
and you
a
have
cheeseburger.
only your word.
Cheeseburger for the G. Wow.
Cheeseburger.
Was it a bacon baby?
Do you guys know
Big
I'm
big
actually
cheeseburger.
taking classes right now? This is a really interesting question. I'm taking Java at CCSF
Yeah.
just because I was bored. I wanted to learn more and like be a life learner.
Write some
If you're being
code.
cheesy about it.
Hell yeah! There's a reason why I like you, Dustin.
Yeah.
Are you
Don't
about to admit
Because
to
it's not worth it. It's a point on a piece of paper. No one's gonna fucking care.
Mhm.
Like no one's gonna remember, and you're just gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I cheated my way through." You're not gonna get the education that you could have learned. I mean, like,
The best
it's just
experience.
why?
The
are
best
you-
experience I have is in college. I plagiarized an article. It was a Shakespearean. It was a
Now,
class on
this is
Shakespeare.
news.
Copied Shakespeare. Pope, I don't know if that's
Unbelievable.
a great
I
idea.
copied-
Educator admits
I
to
plagiarized.
cheating.
Shakespeare's a really small,
So,
really small.
I was in
writer.
college.
That's
It was
an
in
extreme
my
principle.
Let
bitch.
me explain.
Now you
So
know how
in
I
my
feel.
first year of college, I had this class. It was this beginning class, and I cheated on a test on a paper, and I plagiarized a paper. And the professor called me in, and he asked me to explain to him what my thoughts were on it, and I couldn't I couldn't give him the proper explanation of the paper. And he's like, why would you cheat? And he's like, and he just kind of dove into me. And I'm like, I just didn't feel like it was important enough. And he's like, all right. He's like, we'll talk about this later. But he said, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make you write a 10-page research paper on the ethics of the university, this university ethics policy. And it's not going to count for anything. But if you get an A in this class, I'll give you a C. If you get a B in this class, I'll give you a D. And if you get a C, and I'll give you an F. And if you get an F, I'll turn this into the ethics committee. He's like, you're going to work your ass off. And then by the end of it, you're going to learn what it means to be ethical. And I thank that professor for that busting my ass for an entire quarter and teaching me the importance of being able to say things in your own words and mean them and have a voice.
And you got an F in that class.
I got a C.
And now you're the principal.
I got a C in that class, and I would have earned an A. But the life lesson that I pulled from that was worth more than anything they could ever give me.
Don't get caught.
That's what you guys got.
Look, okay, and then the actual serious way to cheat on the exam is actually going to help you learn about it too. All right, I'm being dead serious about this. So you know, like the paneling that they have. No, the paneling that they have in the ceiling. So what you like, it's usually like that kind of cork board stuff that has all the dots on it. What you got to do is you got to sneak into the room in an advanced time when no one else is there, and you got to poke a bunch of holes into it. Poke a bunch of holes. That's all your notes. And basically poking all the holes, you're going to have to memorize what you're poking the holes in the ceiling for, because you can't like stand up there and like have the piece of paper. It's going to flop down on your face. So you have to remember it anyway. So you're basically studying. And then in case you can't remember because you were like too hopped up on adrenaline or whatnot, you can still always look up during the test. Yeah. You can look up during the test and then see all the notes that you hopefully poked into the ceiling.
All right.
And you just got to go like during the test and then look back down and you're good.
I think the reason a lot of
genius,
students cheat, especially when you're a full-time student, you're like, I just got to get through this so that I can get to my break. But don't do it. Just do the test. And if you're having that much trouble in class, why didn't you drop it?
Yeah. Maybe that's a good question. Maybe it's a bad fit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that I had at my university, I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and it's a very good university. And when I left that school, especially in the 400, the upper division courses, when you're in a classroom with maybe 15 other people and it's you and the professor and you're discussing things, if you've bullshitted your way through college, it isn't going to mean jack shit, because the reality of college isn't the grade, isn't the class, the statistics. It's being able to think. And if you've bullshitted your way through college, you have learned shit. And the reality is that the only thing you ever leave, the only thing you ever leave college with is the ability to learn and the ability to think critically.
All right, let's move on.
No. One last thing. I used
Please,
to.
Lord, let's move on.
No. This one's actually serious too. This helps. I would write down. I would try to condense all my notes onto to be able to write it down onto my hand.
Yeah, we should move on. We should definitely.
No. This is fucking serious. This actually helps.
Do that on a piece of paper.
Look, this actually helps. If you try to condense all your notes down into the most important things and write them down onto your hand, because then you're actually trying to remember what the most important things are. And then you just fucking wipe your hands off, okay? But the gist of the matter is you're supposed to be able to figure out what is important for the test, what needs to be remembered, and then you will probably remember that stuff anyway.
All right, next question.
Just remember, you're listening to a guy who has to get a tattoo on his ass.
Yeah. Hooded One says, you can only choose one hairstyle for the rest of your life. Do you go bald? Do you go Aldrin? Do you go Queen Mara? Or do you go Fran?
Fran, definitely.
Fran.
100%.
Fran.
I'm pretty sure Mara would choose
Fran
Fran.
Marabella.
100% Fran.
I go Fran.
I mean, I think I'm wearing it.
I think you are.
There's not enough product in your hair right now, Destin, if that's what you're going for.
No, he uses hairspray. I know his look. Back there.
Inside dope on Fran. Ringo the Dingo says, congrats on the 200th podcast episode. If you could change one thing you did or said in the last 200 episodes, what would that be?
I probably wouldn't admit to cheating on my AP test. I feel like it's
I would have deleted the Shake Your Fancy video before Ryan caught hold of it on Playing Destiny.
But it's amazing. We still talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to live with it. You know, in hindsight, I should have deleted that baby.
But it's great.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I'm glad you didn't take it off.
Me too.
I can't think of anything. I can't think of
anything.
Change.
I can't think of anything.
Mm.
I don't really have many regrets or want to change things in general.
You wouldn't change or would change?
Wouldn't.
I
I generally just I live my life. Things happen. I do stuff. It's all a part of me. So I don't really have the mentality of looking back on anything and seeing it as a bad thing.
I also have a really bad
Part
memory.
of the plan.
Me too. I don't remember yesterday. So
Yeah.
I don't remember anything I've said.
I think when you're very in the moment, it's tough to have those reflective things and be like, what did I not like back then? You know?
Yeah, I can't remember anything.
I don't have 200 episodes. I think I learned a lot making Fireteam Chat, though, a different show.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd change, man. CJ's great. If I could have brought CJ on sooner, it would have been awesome.
So
I would have never brought CJ on.
the problem with that question is that, like, the process of this is the journey.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the mistakes are what allow you to learn and grow, right? And so this wouldn't be this without the mistakes. I mean, and the process. I mean, we wouldn't have Watts without me having issues where, you know, life issues where I had to dip out, and this show wouldn't be the same without her, right? Patrick didn't bail on us to go, you know, spelunking, right? The show wouldn't be the same without it. You know, it's all the ups and downs that make it what it is. And if there's so I wouldn't change anything.
I definitely regret buying that sandwich in the airport when we went to the D2 reveal. Like it was sold to me as like a chicken wrap, and it was like all cabbage.
Ooh.
And
I
having
remember that.
That was one of my top 5.
Mine was also bad.
Yeah,
just pure lettuce.
Yeah, it just didn't.
No
it had, like,
sauce, no flavor. Just
it had like the sour taste.
You know,
to it.
I think that Patrick's trying to just get on my nerves right now. I'm trying to be real, you know, be serious about things, and he's you know, it's working.
Protheon says you get $1 million, but every movie and show will be spoiled for you within 10 minutes of watching it. Would you trade $1 million, but every movie and TV show that you watch is going to be spoiled?
Here's how
in a second, I would make my own movies.
But am I living in California?
Right? Here's how I picture it.
Shitloads of taxes.
Is that I get $1 million, but everything I watch is going to get spoiled. But there's also another guy who got $1 million for spoiling all that shit. So every time I turn on a movie or TV show, this guy walks in the room, whispers in my ear, the dad dies and the mom's got the herpes, and then walks out. Right? That's his only job.
That's just what he says to everything.
I think this goes back to me having a terrible memory. And if it's in the first 10 minutes, I'm going to forget by the end. So
That's a good point.
No, that's awesome.
Good point. You still got video games, too. He doesn't mention video games.
He doesn't mention video games. Just play the video game version of movies, and you're fine. Everything's
Just never
great.
watch a movie again.
Or read the book.
I think
He also didn't.
I hear the book's never
Anime
as good as the
classes
movie,
TV
though.
show.
So
I'm gonna go back.
It's not that much in San Francisco, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm
You
about
up
to
your
say
game, questioner.
you can't even buy a house for that. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
Put a
revert
down
back
payment on a
to.
house.
I'm gonna revert back to last week, and I'll take the $20 pocket cash instead of the $1 million still.
all right.
Yeah.
There was some math done after the podcast. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Mhm, there
Clearly, the
was.
$20 pocket cash was the way to
clearly
go.
cheated
Yeah.
on
My
that AP
instinct
test
was
for math.
100% correct.
Yeah.
Mhm.
the bigger question, Briar, is that example that you gave. What kind of show are you watching? The wife's
What
got the
example?
herpes and
And the husband
That's
dies.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean-
the dog dies. I was
I mean,
just
what do
thinking
you-
of 2 random events.
Honestly, I'd take the $1 million because Pope spoils half the stuff anyway. Though,
Right,
so
he
that's
does
a
spoil
watch.
a lot.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's true.
Phoenix Randall says, if you had a choice between living in luxury and having all needs met, but you have to live with a crappy tech,
Nope.
like you have to live with crappy tech and gear,
Nope.
bad
Oh.
internet,
Oh,
or you get to live in the slums but have the latest and greatest, top-notch, best tech gear, fastest internet speeds ever, what would you choose?
Slums.
Man, if you live in the slums and you got all the best shit in your
That
house,
shit's not
somebody's just
gonna
gonna,
be yours. Yeah.
they're just gonna take that shit, and then you live in the slums and you got Jack's shit.
Yeah, but I'm probably surrounded by better food.
If I have the latest, greatest tech, I mean that includes security. So
good point, Dustin. I like it.
You got to
Yeah.
have the top
Interesting
end home
twitch.
security.
Nice trump card there.
Yeah.
Can
You
I
didn't think of that one,
sell?
Briar,
Can I
did you?
create tech and sell it and then get out the slums? Because I think
dude,
Ooh.
latest
Here's the
greatest
thing.
tech, you can put on that Iron Man shit that dude made at MIT, and you can just
That's
F
true.
up the. You could make it not the slums.
You can
Like a
unslumify it.
superhero.
You could clean up
You
the
could
slums.
be
You
like
could
a
be
superhero.
You
hero.
can clean up these.
You can get to
streets.
Yeah, I
gentrifying
think
the
the
slums,
slums
man.
is the right choice.
I mean, whatever I'm doing in the slums with all that great tech, it's just going to be trying to get myself into this living in luxury and having all your needs met situation that I was already provided if I just didn't need all that tech.
But now you have great internet.
Yeah, but now you have shitty
Yeah.
internet, Briar.
But I have every other need met except for internet.
So you're
Yeah.
telling me that you're going to be happy with your Lamborghini go-kart bumper car racing for the rest
Right,
of your
you're going to
life?
have to call me on the phone to schedule Ferrari Fridays.
No, you're gonna have to
We can
call your
still have
person that
them.
takes your calls.
You're gonna have to do this every time, Briar.
Yeah, with the rotary.
Do you guys remember that? Who's old enough in this?
You cut out.
Cut out, Pope.
To remember what?
Who remembers rotary phones?
Rotary phones.
My
Anybody?
grandma.
I mean,
my
I
grandma
used
had
one
one.
in a museum once.
Yeah.
I mean, they were still on payphones. I
we
feel like
had
longer
Are
than
you
they were in
serious,
houses,
Fox?
right?
Like that's your only recollection?
I never had one in my home.
Oh wow!
I feel like we had a very early phone that was not rotary.
What? My grandparents had the phone where you put the thing to your ear and you have to crank it to call the operator in the
Yeah.
house.
That's
My
it.
grandparents didn't have a phone. I don't think.
And then they had a rotary phone, but they kept their old phone and they explained to me how it would work. And my grandma worked in as an operator and would like
Really?
plug in things. Totally off topic.
Patching
but, yeah.
patching calls. Yeah.
Wait. You're
He's
saying that's
95.
off topic? Come on.
Well, I mean, sort of. We're talking about
This whole-
tech and everything, but
Okay,
started thinking about rotary phones and stuff.
it's true.
I got 3 more questions.
Let's go.
Gavin Taylor says, I know the question between milk before or after cereal exists, but I saw my colleague
What?
go further beyond by putting a spoonful of cereal into his mouth, chew, and then drink from a glass of milk to finish chewing. Thoughts?
Fucking
No,
monsters.
just why?
Yeah,
Put 'em
that's
down.
when
Isn't
you
that more work?
smack
That's
him on the
more
side of the
work,
head.
right?
Put him out of his
That's
misery.
way more work.
I hope he had a glass of milk and wasn't drinking the milk right out of the carton, because you know there's all fucking cereal bits in that milk now.
Oh, God.
Backwash like crazy in there.
This sounds like
No.
a
Disgusting.
catastrophe.
That's when you just
I don't
You
want any
just
part of this
don't.
question.
Gavin,
no.
you need to find a better
I respect it.
group of friends. You need
I
to
respect it.
you need to understand what the situation is that you're living in, and you
Very
need to
serious.
get out of there as fast as
Now.
possible.
Yeah.
Get out now.
I respect that man's life choices.
See? You see?
That's the guy that told you to cheat in life too.
Exactly.
I didn't tell you to. I just told you how.
No, he
Go to
didn't.
I go to the gym.
He taught you how to get caught. Is that
Yeah.
that's how he taught you?
I go to the gym the same time as this guy who like brushes his teeth and stuff there, and he's clearly like well off or whatever. But when he brushes his teeth, he goes like for 20 minutes, and I just gotta be like, dude, like, can you do that like once or twice? Because I'm gonna vomit if you keep doing that every morning.
Any chance you could build one of those up into one mega spit?
Yeah, like
That'd be nice.
why do you keep doing it? Anyway.
I don't like the people who do that in the sink and then just don't wash it off. They just leave it there. Oh, that drives me crazy. D Flawless says, question. You have to pick one to wear for a full day. Wet socks or wet underwear?
Ooh.
Socks.
Socks.
I think
Yeah.
you have to go socks.
Socks.
Yeah. Socks.
You have to pick one.
Gotta pick one.
Yes. Well,
Socks.
Screw it. I'm wearing wet underwear.
Warm
Really?
wet or cold wet?
Cold wet, I'm gonna say.
I did enough surfing in my life that wet underwear. It's an easy disguise for you. If you got to pee, you just go pee.
What?
You don't have to go to the bathroom. You just go.
Pope, I'm sitting in my fucking
can still
chair
be
right here. I'm not
smelly.
just gonna
Whatever.
go.
You've done
This
enough
is my
serving in
world.
your life that this is the conclusion?
Surfing.
Oh, I think you said serving, like serving food. And I was like, what is going
I've served
on?
enough food to know that peeing in my pants is
All
a
I'm
great
saying-
way to go.
Is that
I didn't realize
you
we
haven't
were
peed in your
swimming.
pants? You're missing out. It is warm. It is comfortable, and it feels good.
But your choice is to go with no.
That's what I'm doing. My experience is
I'm
that
sorry,
you can
socks.
turn that into a
I
good
see your
experience.
point, Pope. In
Thank you.
California weather where it's beautiful and it's warm, I'm experiencing a snowstorm right now, and I think I gotta go with wet underwear because if I have wet socks on my feet, like I'm in a serious frostbite situation.
You could move.
Wet underwear.
What about frostbite in not feet
I think
areas?
it'd be
Yeah.
less risky. I feel like but more devastating.
It's
frankly.
situational. It's situational for sure, but my go-to is wet underwear for without a doubt.
I'm going socks.
Oh,
Your feet are further away from your heart, so they get less blood, so they're more likely to get frostbite than your bits that are closer to your center
Thank
mass.
you.
your bits. Yeah.
Thank you.
But
No.
if it happens,
Here's the thing. There's an amazing loophole here. Just
Mm.
don't
Mhm.
wear
Talk to me.
don't wear underwear.
Don't wear
Oh.
underwear. Boom, we go commando. We have dry socks
you could
on.
not wear
Everybody's happy.
socks also.
Oh,
But, yeah.
thank you, chat. Thank you. I saw that in
Flip
chat.
flops. Boom.
We wear flip-flops and no underwear.
Right.
Done.
No. If you
So
don't wear
is
any
that-
underwear, you can still wear socks. It doesn't matter because you chose one or the other.
Flip-flops, full support. I'm comfy.
There you go.
Comfy.
First of all, this is California.
Flip-flops and
You're
a
wearing
swimsuit.
board shorts. You're not wearing underwear. You're wearing flip-flops. This is California weather. Whoever
Fair.
wrote this is definitely a Southern California beach dweller.
Dot
a trick question.
says, would you rather eat 15 pounds of crawfish with Patrick or 15
Yes.
pounds of tacos from Taco Bell with Pope? I like how he
I can't
jabs that Taco
eat
Bell in there.
15 pounds of taco.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to suffer through the crawfish,
I
unfortunately.
go with the crawfish.
Suffer.
Y'all-
Man,
you gotta
so we
see-
have this
you gotta
place
see
called
light.
Boiling Crab. Crawfish is the way to go.
Do you have 15
Yeah.
pounds? Is that a
Yeah.
preferred amount?
Yeah, it's 15 pounds like an edible amount
Yeah.
of crawfish.
Crawfish are small.
Okay, but if you go
No
to this
one
place,
believes me.
do you order 15 pounds of
It's still
crawfish?
15 pounds. It doesn't matter how big the animal is.
Are we talking about 15 pounds of actual meat?
No!
15 pounds.
No.
It's
Or
not.
15 pounds?
Wait. I
crawfish.
want to hear Destin from this. I want like
Crawfish.
unfiltered.
The crawfish don't have a lot of meat. Very, very little meat on them. You could easily eat 15 pounds of crawfish. You'd be very full, but it's editable. 15 pounds of tacos from Taco Bell? No, that's disgusting. And also, it's Taco Bell. Get out of here.
Also impossible.
Wow.
Thank you.
I think
15. How many tacos from Taco Bell would 15 pounds be?
too many. That's how many.
Well, the
We
family
gotta wait.
pack's probably
Oh my god,
5,
that's
right?
making me want to puke just thinking about it. First of all,
Oh, it's
you wouldn't
5
actually
family
end
pack.
up eating any of them because by the time you got to your 10th taco, you'd be puking that shit up.
I
So
bet
there's-
that's like
But
30
it's been
tacos.
voted the best Mexican restaurant in America, Pope.
That's true.
I don't
It has
see-
been voted that.
Wait. The Taco Bell shared? I can down like a family pack myself, I think.
No, it's 15.
And that's
it's
pro-
15-pound serving size.
Yeah, I'm assuming
no.
this is your share that you have to take care of. But guys, are we not going to talk about how we just found someone to verify the 15-pound myth of the crawfish? That this is acceptable?
Yeah, we want to hear more about this. Is it normal to order 15 pounds?
He just confirmed.
No.
Oh wait.
No, it's not.
It's not a-
No. Sorry. It would not be normal to order 15 pounds of crawfish.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
All
I'm
right.
sorry,
Okay.
Holtz.
There's not a lot of meat on a crawfish. So
Yeah.
But you
And
wouldn't
you get
go
to
out of your
split
way
it
to
with
order
Holtz.
15 pounds.
you get to split it with Holtz in that scenario.
How much would it
It
be a
says with
normal
Holtz,
amount
eat
of
15.
single serving of crawfish would you order, Dustin?
I usually don't get crawfish. I usually get king crab legs, and I usually get 2.5 pounds of that, and they are phenomenal. Or like a pound of shrimp. And you can easily down a pound or two of shrimp.
So you don't eat the lice that they eat over there? I mean, crawfish.
The crawfish, it's the whole crawfish, and you like. There's not a lot of meat on those guys. It's like
So
I can't.
You're
think
like
of
eating the meat out of a cockroach. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, sorta.
Yeah.
A sea-dwelling, bottom-feeding
Yeah.
cockroach, and it's
Yeah.
delicious.
So you're just not gonna go for the So if presented with the option of 15 pounds of crawfish, you're like, I'd rather have a quality meat instead. That's what you're saying.
Oh, I would do king crab legs. I can't do 15 pounds of king crab legs though. I can do like 2.
I'd love to
pots.
try though.
Oh my god, I love.
It sounds
guys
like
have
a Guardian
been
Con
to
challenge.
Crab, if you've never been to Boiling Crab near San Jose, go to Boiling Crab. Go to any crab shack. Just go get.
Are we
I'm
gonna have
go
to
get
do
crab
this like a Guardian Con now? Is this a
I
thing
think
where
it's
you
a
guys are gonna have to bring me
Maybe.
15 pounds of
Hey,
crawfish?
I think so.
if we're
Probably
still
got some
talking about it in
crab
January,
in
February,
Florida.
March, then maybe we'll
If
see.
this is the ongoing debate of the podcast that we ask every guest to see if they want to eat 50 pounds of crawfish, I think so.
Yeah.
I will eat a reasonable amount of crawfish with you anytime, Holtz. But
A
I've never.
reasonable
I
amount.
haven't had it before.
Look, see, the thing is, when you start eating the crawfish, you also have like a beer to accompany
course.
you. And so a couple beers in, you're really hungry again. And then that's when you're about like the 7 to 8 pound range that you've already eaten. So just saying, yeah, bring out exactly that much again, please.
I'm getting crab legs on the side.
So what you're saying is that our tattoos are going to be like crawfish? Is that what you're saying? You want crawfish on your
Now
ass?
this is interesting.
It's really not.
I like where this is going.
I mean,
Holtz hates this.
because your ass is about 15 pounds. So
Just picture you have like a crawdad holding a beer, drinking
Mhm.
on your
Crawdad
ass.
holding a beer.
All right.
Holtz crawfish or that Thunderlord thing we were talking about before. Which one?
Yeah, one of the
What
other,
if
buddy.
Thunderlord dude's holding crawfish in the other?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
instead of the lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Can I just
And
get
he
a
has a
crawfish
little
holding a
crawfish?
Thunderlord and a lightning bolt?
Oh, it's
A
the same
crawfish
thing, but the guy on the
wielding
horse.
Thunderlord, please.
Crawfish is on the horse,
Yeah, there you go.
wielding the Thunderlord.
This is gold, man. How could you not want to do this
We
tomorrow?
are designing epic proportions right now.
I just heard epic proportions in my brain go off like lightning, thunder, explosions.
All right.
Holtz got quiet. That's weird.
I think Ash is going to have some serious design ideas.
Ash, if you're listening, you don't have to draw any of this. We're going with the fucking half heart with us.
Hey, if you want to draw an awesome crawfish Thunderlord action, maybe we can use it
In
something
your
yeah, if you
else.
want to draw that, please.
All right.
Go ahead.
Maybe we can make a shirt. All right.
That's next DCP shirt right there.
It is 15 pounds, baby.
I want a single crawfish standing upon a mound of corpses of crawfish, wielding the lightning bolt and
The
Thunderlord.
Saint 14 of crawfish.
Yes.
Breaking
That's pretty
news.
good.
Tavas
Wow.
says if you ordered 15 pounds of crawfish, the most you're going to eat is like 3 pounds of actual meat. The rest is shell.
This is correct.
Okay. I will say
No, it's
though,
bomb.
3 pounds of meat
Whoops.
is still like if
But it's
Hefty
you
amount.
get to share in that scenario.
no. This is a single serving.
This is individual
That's still fine.
portion.
This is what
I'd
you
still
eat.
it. Yeah, that's fine.
Like, are you gonna go eat a 3-pound burger?
Can I do
Pound steak?
I
So,
mean, when
like-
you add in fries with the burger.
No. This is the meat.
Like a pound
You're
and a half
not
of
finishing
burger.
a 3-pound steak, sir.
How many challenges are we going to come up with here?
No.
First of all,
the discussion
You're
was:
not eating
is it
3
normal?
pounds of anything
All right.
at one
Is
sitting.
there a
It wasn't.
time limit?
Could you do it? Is it? Would you plan on
Did you
doing that
just shout?
weekly?
Whoa. Did
Weekly?
you just say I can't eat 3 pounds of king crab legs in one sitting?
I bet you could. Are you gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna
I
have king
could.
crabs? Maybe I should have 3 pounds of meat of that.
Honestly, yeah.
Be like, it's Saturday night. I think it's time to have 3 pounds of crawfish meat.
I get 2.5 pounds of king crab legs when I go to king crab.
No, we're talking
so
about
I
the
can easily up
actual.
it to 3.
We're talking about the
Meat.
actual meat, though, because
Yeah,
if 15
yes.
pounds gets condensed
Yeah.
to 3 pounds of actual meat, 3 pounds is still quite a bit of food.
If I get like a 16-ounce steak, I am like, oh.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Dude, we're talking 48 ounces.
I'll do
Bingo.
3 pounds of king crab legs. The meat. Oh wait, no. Maybe you're right because the shell is pretty heavy.
If you're eating 3 pounds of steak, no.
How How much
Would
does the
3
steak
pounds
weigh?
of
How much is a
steak
filet mignon?
fit inside a gallon container for milk? What is the volume of 3 pounds of meat?
Do you
A
put milk
16-ounce steak
on?
is 1 pound.
So
So,
do you-
16 times 3.
Do you put the milk
Fucking-
on the steak first, or do you take a bite of the steak and then drink milk? What do you do?
That's a question.
I have actually done that before.
Oh my god!
All right. So
Please, Lord,
A filet mignon. A filet mignon is half a pound. So
It's typically about an 8-ounce cut.
so 6 filet mignons
Yeah,
is 3 pounds.
Jesus.
3
Christ.
pounds is a lot of meat, guys. I'm
It's a
surprised.
lot of meat.
None of you guys are like well, I mean, not none. Like some of you guys are not immediately like, whoa. Like imagine getting a 3-pound hamburger.
No, I think you could do it. You just would be very uncomfortable after you did it.
Yeah, I'm not saying you
I'm
can't.
so hungry now.
It's just you are not doing
Well-
anything else for the rest of that day.
I'm all for a 3-pound, crawdad. Really,
And tomorrow is
obese
looking busy tomorrow
crawdad
too.
tattoo on my ass. That's what I'm gonna get.
Crawdad tattoos on your ass. I like it. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta do
stop
this.
I think
the
that's it,
madness.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's wrap it up.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to find more of me, I am at Holton_YT on Twitter, where it's fine to eat that much crawfish. Fight me. Change my mind.
Who goes next? Is it me?
How about Destin?
Destin,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Let's just shake it up.
Yeah.
Hey, I work at IGN. We do video game stuff over there. You can go check that out.
Awesome.
IGN, you say, eh?
Yeah.
I did just say.
Yeah.
So we do the shorter Destiny show. We do Fireteam Chat over there. These guys have the fantastic DCP. Had a ton of fun tonight. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have Dado on Friday. He's gonna join us, and
Nice.
we got to get some of you guys on the show. We still haven't had Watts on the show. I don't think we've gotten Breyer on the show. Tefty, you're supposed to come by the
I
office,
know.
bro.
I think that's what's.
Hefty's got to be there in person.
I want to actually visit and be there in person, and I think that's part of the barrier that's been happening, like making that schedule work to like drive over to San Francisco. So I would love to
It's
be on the
tough.
show.
I'll tell you what. You make your way over here. You got a place to stay here. Wake up in the morning. You take a.
I don't think I could ever go over there now.
You take a. Fuck you. And then you're there.
You don't know until you live in the Bay Area. If you're in the East Bay and there's a thing in the city, you might as well be in freaking Antarctica
Yeah.
because it's
No,
so
man.
difficult to get over.
No,
there.
there-
you made the
you-
trek. It's a
I
challenge.
live in Alameda. You jump on the ferry. You're 10 minutes,
Oh,
man. Come on.
Alameda's pretty dope.
Yeah.
San Francisco's nice. I'd love to come by and hang out, be on the show. It'd be fun.
Invite stands for all of you, actually. And then, the personal stream thing, it's over at twitch.tv/the Destin channel if you want to check that out.
Fell the hobbit hole.
Jets go to San Fran, stay in Pope's Hobbit Hole.
It's
Different hobbit hole, just
I
really.
live in a 4-bedroom Victorian. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This thing's beautiful.
It would be awesome. I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. You can catch my streams, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. Recently, we've been playing Hitman and chucking briefcases around the corner. It's been fun. It's been good stuff.
I'm Briar Rabbit, and my wife is yelling at me for being too loud. You can find me at the Briar Rabbit on Twitter. We're streaming on Twitch occasionally. Thanks.
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just search for Miss 5000 Watts.
Is that everyone?
Yeah.
Patrick,
What?
you're next.
I went first
You threw. Why did you go first?
because I always go first.
He goes first to end it.
Whatever. Just a heads up. This is Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter at Pope Bear. Yeah. Make sure to follow the podcast at DCP_live. If you're listening to this right now, hit the like button.
Yeah.
Hit the follow button.
Smash the like button.
Hit
You know,
the
we get
subscribe
we
button,
get
the
like
support button.
30,000 plus like views on our YouTube channel, and we have like, just hit the follow button. Go ahead, do it. It doesn't hurt. And then next week we don't have a guest. Next week we don't have a guest. we're
Wait, I think we didn't
don't
decide
have a
on
show.
when. Yeah, I thought next week is Thanksgiving, and
we're not
That's-
having a guest, and we're not doing a podcast.
We're not doing
We're
a
done.
show.
There won't be a guest
Problem
because
solved.
There's no guest.
podcast.
no
There's
show.
no podcast, no show. We've decided that our lives are too important.
3
No,
pounds of turkey meat. That's what
we
has to be
will-
consumed.
This will be the first time in a long time we've ever missed a week.
Yeah, it's true.
When we come back, we're gonna have Carolina Gamer on.
Awesome.
We're gonna
Oh,
have
cool.
then we're gonna start off with in December we have Geek Chick, Laced Up Lauren, Ninja, and we're gonna then do a Christmas special, a holiday special on the 27th. You're not gonna want to miss that show. Ash is gonna be joining us for the first time, and we're gonna be in costume. We're gonna
draw
dressed up.
her.
We're gonna
draw
draw her.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that.
I think
Um,
we should make the art for that one. Like
We should.
we
We should
somehow
have
figure out
Ash take a week off, and we'll make. the art.
we make the art for it.
That's
we're
hilarious.
gonna make her draw herself. That's what we're gonna do. All right. Well, anyway, just make sure that you guys stay tuned. We've got lots of stuff happening. We really appreciate everybody on Patreon who's supporting us. It's beyond awesome. Every follow, every subscription we get on Twitch really helps us out. That's it.
Yeah.
Just love you guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it.
This is fun.
Bye.
We're gonna roll credits and be back to read out some subs.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hit my microphone.
You can start.